You wouldn't forget. It's cold on the mountain tonight. Yes, it's cold on the mountain tonight. And we need someone to save us. We need someone who's ready for a fight. Onward through the blizzard they do ride. Onward through the blizzard they do ride. With bread and butter and faithful hounds beside. The faithful folks of 10 towns they defend, and the rotten folks of 10 towns they offend. With flaming sword and staff and dart they'll pierce the veil, strike at the heart of the rill. Forces they do not know they are heard. The forces they do not know they are watched. All the lonesome cry of forgotten beasts will save us all or be a feast for winter. Okay. Yeah. That's a good starting place. Rough draft, Everybody's a Mimic theme song, Rime of the Frostmaiden. Take one. You wouldn't forget. It's cold on the mountain tonight. Yes, it's cold on the mountain tonight. And we need someone to save us. We need...
Now we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another stream of Everybody's a Mimic, an actual play 5th edition webcast playing Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden. We are currently on session 18. That's not right. We're currently on session 19. And we're going to be recapping a little bit, but before we get into that, let's introduce our players. We have 3 of the 4 playing with us today. Levi, who is played by Ben, it will not be joining us, and so I will be playing Levi in my best impression. Rounding out the group is going to be Del Nadre.
That's played by Blake.
Bitte.
Played with semi-consistent accent by Carson.
And Rosemary.
Played by Ray.
And we are going to start off this stream with a question for each of your characters. So get your feet in their boots. What is one irrational fear that your character has, and how do they show it? It's not to say it's like how have you shown it so far in the session or in the campaign, but just how do you show off your irrational fear in everyday life as your character?
Proudly.
Well, since Del Nudge made the first sound, he will start us off. What is your...
Oh, no. So I think Del has this irrational fear of losing it all, which is to say he came into an adopted family from an orphaned life that he's afraid that at any point that things could kind of just fall apart. So generally he doesn't form a lot of attachments and things up until this point. This is the longest he's been with any group of people that hasn't been his adopted family, and that's been kind of weird for him.
So how does Dell show this off? Is he get like really antsy whenever you're left alone in situations where everyone like went out for an errand? They went to go get their pipe weed, or they went to go fill up some gas in their sled, give their dog some gasoline. How does that show off?
It's less of a fear that people are like going to abandon him, and more of just like that something is going to happen to cause him to lose these people. So it's more like in the situations where somebody gets like a yeti comes out and is attacking people, it's more of like okay, God, what is it's all going wrong again so quickly.
All right. Next up, Bitte.
Etha's irrational fear. Etha's just kind of a brave individual in general. So it's not anything mundane. It's not anything normal. What it is bath salts and bath bombs.
Oh,
What?
He was at a bathhouse once. Someone gave him some bath salts at a bath bomb, and you know what? It fizzed. It shouldn't fizz. He didn't want to be boiled, and you know what? It tingles in the wrong places, and he's just not about it.
How long after that terrifying experience did it take Bitte to feel safe enough to get into a bath again? Like a real bath, not like taking a bath. Like, oh yeah, Bitte
To get into like an actual standing bath again, it was probably about a year and a half.
Oh god. Oh goodness. I can't wait for our bathhouse scene then. Rosemary, why don't you finish it up? What is an irrational fear that you have?
So I was trying to think about like where she grew up, and like she obviously is not afraid of like of bugs or anything, or like most nature related things, but I think she hasn't really experienced horses in her life, just because like she lives in a reclusive mountainous area. Horses don't really get there a lot, but she's heard stories that they're just like ginormous and skittish, and once they start to close their mouths they can't stop. She's like irrationally afraid of these horses that she's heard about.
Is that a real thing? Horses can't stop closing their mouth?
I learned that when I was a kid. I don't know if it's true, but it's terrified me ever since, so I'm projecting a little bit.
That's exactly how it happened with Rosemary, sure.
Oh my goodness. I can only imagine just like Rosemary having recurring nightmares of like horse mouths. But I guess you've never you don't know how like just like a poorly drawn horse, something you took from some Renaissance painting.
Basically.
It's just something more akin to like how Renaissance paintings depict cats. Never really seem to be very realistic.
Yeah. And like I'm not even afraid of horses, but I'm still afraid that a horse is gonna like bite my fingers off on accident someday.
That is a terrifying.
So I'm giving that to Rosemary. I'm gift wrapping it. Now it's hers.
That's a great way to get rid of your trauma. Just to give it to your D&D character, and then they'll deal with it.
Yep.
So
what is D&D for if not experiencing trauma through other characters?
Yeah. I was gonna say having fun, like great social experiences.
The gospel of Chris Perkins.
Yeah. All right. Who is cooking? Somebody cooking?
Sorry, that's me.
Okay.
I forgot I didn't prepare my dog's food yet.
So last session we. Oh gosh, I'll be right back.
Did someone
Dude,
was that someone just screaming Corey?
Yeah.
I think it was.
Great. Love it.
All right. So last session, you know, all the stuff that happened, we were there. You guys were there. If we have any listeners, you were there, and if you weren't, you missed some good stuff.
For real.
Mhm.
Yeah, be better.
You know, and if you weren't there, I don't think you deserve a recap. I don't think you deserve to know about the stuff. Why should we make it so easy? Why should we just give all of our best content to people in recaps if they're not even going to support like us every step of the way?
We're gatekeeping.
You know what? No,
recaps
that's wrong.
now.
That's wrong of me. Here, that's not fair. People might have had things like going on that they couldn't be here for, and they shouldn't be punished for that. So
Might have had a
if you
life.
chose voluntarily not to be here despite having free time, don't listen to this recap. If you were just too busy, you know, and you just couldn't make it, but you really wanted to, this recap is for you. We woke up at the cabin. Well, no, we didn't wake up because I think we were still mid-combat in the cabin.
Yeah.
We fought ourselves a cold light walker.
Listeners, you're not here for real, but you can get the. You can just go.
You can just go.
Yeah. We defeated that big angry suit of cold weather gear. Took it down, beat it up, moseyed on back to town. Sold some casks of wine at like what was really, it's hard to say it's a loss of money because the casks cost us nothing, but man, they could have been worth a lot more, we'll say. But that's fine. It got us some free sledding equipment, which is great. We're going on an adventure. We're off to Doom Crag, home of the Yetis? Is that the Yeti one, or is Wormdoom Crag the Goliaths?
It is the home of the Goliath.
Okay, we're off to see the Goliaths at Wormdoom
Specifically,
Crag. I know, because I was
Goliath
there.
tribe.
Yep. I remember all of that very well.
I'm really looking forward to making Corey roleplay all 7 of Beta's siblings.
God damn it. Oh, you know.
No. Introduce yourselves by name with fully formed accents.
Yeah, you know what, Carson? You're gonna arrive. Bitte's gonna arrive in Wormdoom Crag and just find, oh darn, your family just went on some like 1 month trek over to Sky Tower Shelter, and I guess you're just gonna have to not meet them for a while.
Man, there's this really bad like flu going around. Everybody's lost their voice in town, so all of the Yeti or the Goliaths just gesture as if to say, hey, welcome to our village.
Yeah,
Saying oral, now everyone's got a cold.
Actually, more likely than not, Bitte learned his accent from as seen on TV advertisements. There you go. Strictly as seen on TV advertisements taught Bitte common in the way that he speaks common.
Damn.
Is that right? Am I right, Bitte? What was your favorite as seen on TV advertisement in Wormdoom Crag?
In Wormdoom Crab. Wormdoom Crab. Crag. Beta's favorite as seen on TV would probably have been the slap chop. It was a proprietary gauntlet that you could put on during goat ball tournaments that was lined with a 5-point matrix of sharpened blades.
Hi, William Mays here with Bag of Holding.
William Mays.
All right. Well,
No one's named Billy in a D&D universe.
Not with that attitude.
Man. The towel of holding. You can dry anything.
Anything at
If
all.
Rosemary ever dies, I'm making a character named Billy just to spite you.
Del Nadre will refuse to accept that this person is real.
Well, yeah. All right. So, Del, were you giving us a recap? Were you giving our listeners a recap when I had this?
Yeah, I gave a really good one,
Okay.
but only I qualified it by it was a recap that was only for the listeners that couldn't make it last session.
Okay.
Anyone who chose not to be here wasn't allowed to listen. So at some
Yeah.
point, you're going to have to send all of those listeners like individual messages, otherwise they'll never know to tune back in.
Yeah, and it did also contain maybe about 2% of the actual plot.
Oh, good. Well,
I made it all the way up to we're going to Worm Doom Crag.
Okay, so yeah, so you all, after wrapping things up with the Black Cabin, went
Said
to
that already.
Care Koenig, dropped
Said
off
that.
some of the items you had gotten from the Black Cabin, including the Summer Star. You just
Bother to talk about that specifically.
you got rid of the wine casket at a really cheap price, relatively speaking.
Yeah, I did talk about that specifically.
Yeah, and you all made your way out through using dog sledge across the tundra, going out to Worm Doom Crag, the home of the Thun Kalaga Goliath clan. Unfortunately, along the way, after 2 nights on the tundra, you were attacked by none other than an abominable yeti. A very deadly encounter for your
An
party.
abdominal yeti.
An abominable.
The abdominable yeti. We might have a situation on our hands.
Do you even lift? He shouts as he leaps through the snow.
Bitte throws a dart and it just like clanks off of his 6-pack. What is this? Child's toys? So, after a rather shocking encounter, the abominable yeti, the party was able to barely make it out alive. Levi and Del Nadre taking the brunt of the attack. In fact, the only ones to take any of the attack. While
Yeah, I can take it.
Rosemary and Bitte were able to hop on their sled and slide away, following after Jarthra. They sped off through the night, taking their rests and shifts, avoiding exhaustion for themselves, but giving exhaustion to the dogs along the way, and finally made camp in the early hours of the morning at the base of what Bitte's most comfortable trek or pathway is towards Worm Doom Crag. Now, the path going to Worm Doom Crag is partially accessible by dog sled. You could make it all the way. You would have to you basically have to take the dogs off the sleds and lead them for a number of points along the way up. But the pathway from Worm Doom Crag to Sky Tower Shelter is absolutely not accessible unless you went down the mountain and then went all the way around. If you took the mountain path, it would not be accessible by dog sled. If you didn't take the mountain path and you went, and you can see on the map over here, just south of Sky Tower Shelter, you could have gone a little bit through the tundra to get to them from below. But they don't really have a pathway up there, as their relationship with their Griffin friends allows them to kind of make it a bit easier to get up and down to their place. So, that being said, is the party still going to hold on to last session's decision to send the dogs back? Knowing you could bring them along with you, they are exhausted, so they would have difficulty along the way there. There will be checks that you'll have to make as part of your mountain travel, and they would have disadvantage for all of those checks. Ultimately, because they are smaller, you could, the rule of majority might give you a little bit of benefit there to bring them up there, but you would then just have your dogs left in Worm Doom Crag, and it would force you to have to go back to Worm Doom Crag after your eventual trip to the Yeti village, which is even further up into the mountains past Sky Tower Shelter.
I feel like Rosemary would want to send the dogs back. Like, just because they're already exhausted, and we do have a deal with What's-His-Face to bring them back to town.
Right. I mean,
I agree with that.
Deal part aside, you don't. That isn't as much of an issue, but giving them that rest is very helpful. Would make it easier on them, and Jarthur will be able to take a kind of a big, wide distance around. Taking a bit longer for him to get back to Caer Konig, but he thinks he'll be able to avoid the abominable snowman quite easily. So,
Wait.
All right. Well then, if y'all are ready to get to it, we are going to begin mountain travel. So mountain travel is slow and arduous. When Jarthra decides he's gonna already take the point of separating between you guys, because if the abominable snowman's either following either the dogs or he's gonna be following either Levi or Del Nadre's blood, since he was able to wound both of you. And so if you split it up, at least this way, one group is going to be safe, no matter what. And so he leaves in the early hours, and so it is, say, 10 o'clock. There is a heavy overcast. There is storms up the mountain, and you expect a good amount of snow on your way up to Wormdoon Crag. You have, from where you are to where you need to be, you're going to go along this mountain path a little bit for 2.5 miles, and then you're going to go another, we'll just say another mile. So you have 3.5 miles traveling up. And based on the mountain travel rules, it will take you, you'll be able to go at about half a mile per hour. So you're looking at about 7 miles. My math is correct there.
Now, in this case, does Beta's ability give them any kind of help with that?
So largely your ability is just going to be covering their total lack of experience when it comes to trekking this. On Wormdoon Crag is going to help you out with something, but it's going to help you out and it'll put you in the benefit or the advantage. You'll have advantage on some checks along the way, depending on the situation. But after Wormdoon Crag, on the mountain trath from that tribe's home to Sky Tower, it's going to be a lot more difficult, where instead of the team or the party really dealing with some disadvantages, you're going to be able to keep them kind of just a bit more even, you know, because you have Levi, son of an island king, Del Nadre, city boy, and Rosemary, who, while does living in the mountains, has really just lived at base level, you know, in the foothills. You're the only one who's ever had any experience, and
Gotcha.
so you're going to be able to assist them. And as time goes on, and as the party gets more, you know, even just through this travel itself, and as you guys travel back into the mountains again, if it ever comes up again, you will gain more and more to the point where your ability will largely be how the party functions. But right now, we're still in those learning stages, baby steps kind of thing.
Okay.
All right. Is there any preparations you guys have before we get started in terms of like how you'd like to get ready for your trek out there? Or Bitte, do you have any suggestions for the party as well?
No, not especially. Beta will. Are they doing like a hike, or are they like climbing at this juncture?
It'll be both. So they're
Okay, whenever they climb, Beta will make sure that everyone hooks up together.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hooking up.
But Oh,
Sorry, making a bad joke.
it was a great joke. Don't sell yourself short. Harness up and being lashed together in a line for safety purposes. But for regular hiking, he just gives everyone a general tutorial, tells them to, like normal, stick in his footprints as much as possible, and if you're going up loose material, orient your feet parallel to the slope, or perpendicular to the slope, rather, which is actual good knowledge.
Good. All right. So everyone, during combat on the slopes, I mean, during situations where you might find yourself moving around on the slopes, be sure to give mind of your foot things. I will be asking that. How are your feet? Are they perpendicular? Are they vertical?
Tell me about your feet.
Tell me about your feet. All right. All right. Well, you begin your trek up the mountain path, and in the for the lower parts, the small foothills, as you begin to make your trek into the actual mountainous regions where it becomes very rocky and lots of snow has fallen and people don't travel as much. There's still a little bit of a path. Whether this is from the Goliaths or just a couple of people from 10 towns, most likely the Goliaths. It's quite easy to keep along, and so Bitte, for this first part, would you all prefer to just roll once as a group for your survival check, or individually and take the majority? No, I mean Bitte has a very good survival, right? Right, Bitte?
I think it's a 4. I think it's the same as Rosemary's.
My survival is also 4, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Levi has a 3. And Del Nadre has a 1. So
yeah, I will not be helming any survival checks in this group, but
I can also give
I'm more than
guidance.
happy to assist anyone who would like my help in the form of if you need me to scout the land, I have a bird.
Does your bird fly?
No, it's a chicken.
Yeah, definitely.
He has a chicken.
I don't know why I thought a puffin was a flightless bird.
No, puffins can fly.
It's fair.
They get around.
They get around. So do chickens. All right. Well, let's just go to make it easy for this first trek. While you guys are just going through the mountain path, Bitte, you'll be the single survival check. I guess in situations where the party will be both responsible for like their own safety, along with just not getting lost, we will have individual checks. But for right now, Bitte, just go ahead and roll us your survival check.
already?
And we assist his survival
with
check.
Health and guidance.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll do guidance, so that's a D4 for you.
Yeah, health and
Okay.
guidance. Why don't you guys just 19?
Be a 19.
No issue at all. The first hour of your journey goes by well. You have 6 hours left. Let us roll it again.
Already?
So Bitte, is there any point where we should be kind of like trying to? Are we gonna need to sneak into this village? Are we gonna be welcome here, or what's the?
Once. Sorry, I haven't thought how to do the voice well. Exasperated, or exhausted rather. We are making good time. Once we get there, we will be welcomed with open arms, and no doubt hunted for stories. Was that good?
Yeah, you did good.
That was great.
Okay. Yeah.
So you're next.
Yeah. Beats is like, yeah, we'll be perfectly welcome.
feel like Rosemary started out asking a whole bunch of questions, and then now she's just like out of breath. So she's like, "So, when we get, hold on, when we get there, are we gonna? Is there gonna be a storytelling like a competition?"
Generally, that's every sixth night at the tavern. So we're. What day of the week is it? I don't know. Don't tell us when we're there.
It's the third day of the week. Whatever day that is.
Depends how long we stick around. And Beta, at some point, when they stop after the second hour, will stop and pull out a little tin of moose grease, and will start sticking it in his nose, and offer it to the others.
Rosemary trusts him. She doesn't quite know what this is about, but she trusts him.
To stay from bleeding.
Oh, from the altitude.
Yes.
Smart.
So I get nosebleeds real bad, so that's an actual thing I have to do. Not moose grease.
Would that so when with the altitude, putting moose grease up your nose, or just grease in general, or like some kind of Vaseline, just protects it from the cold and stops it from cracking, basically?
Yeah. It gives it a nice protective and moisturizing seal.
Nice.
I may or may not have gotten the nickname Vaseline while in my geologic field camp, for the amount that I was sticking in my nose, and I was still getting bloody noses 2-3 times a day.
Oh my goodness. Well,
Yeah, it's awful.
As you guys take a brief break at the end of your second hour, you've made really good time making your way up, and in fact, I'll go ahead and say that you've made you've gone 1.5 miles. So you've caught up and you make really good time. You're already making more than a bit of a half hour, because you guys are just kind of pushing it, and you're exhausting yourselves just to get up the mountain. But it's very kind of in the valley below you hear. And Yeti and Bitte, you know this to be the classic Yeti call. Just a slow, bumbling, meant to throw its voice echoing throughout the mountain pass to help instill fear on the witless victims that they hunt down.
One moment. What was that?
What was what?
That there was Levi, you didn't hear that? It was like a whoa, 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 whoa. It was really loud.
Levi kind of just shakes his head a little bit, still a little bit dizzy from getting knocked so viciously around by the Yeti. He's like,
Rosemary, you heard that though, right?
Yes. That was, would Rosemary know what a Yeti call sounds like?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say yes. You would have, maybe not from your town, but the people in your village probably would have recreated the call, to kind of just teach you guys more about what's out there without the danger of having to go and hunt it down.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Bito, when it comes over, hold up a hand and say, be alert. chosen our trail rather than the dogs. This is good.
All right. So I'm gonna need you all to roll, or Bitte, I need you to roll a survival for your next check. Now, you can push yourselves. You can always have the option to go faster, making up double time, but taking your checks at a disadvantage without the ability to help. You can still use guidance though.
Verbal guidance.
Okay.
And given your current, like, how fast you've been moving, I would say I would even give you 1.25 miles, putting you just ever so closer. So
Okay.
it's the point where you guys might be able to get this done in almost 2/3 of the time, maybe 3/4.
Okay, so I'm making another check.
Yep, this will be another check for Bitte. Doesn't even need the help. 20 with your guidance.
I'll take it anyway.
Will be no issue at all. Bitte, you take some shortcuts off the track, but you, knowing in your experience of taking lots of adventurers into the spine of the world as part of your guide trips, you know the treks that allow you to save time without requiring an experienced climber, and you're able to cut off some time. It is now it is going to be now you've made already half. It's 1.5 miles, so another mile here. You've made 2.5 miles of the 3-mile trek that you have.
There's like one leg where it's like, okay, everything here is easy except for this one bananas climb. I'm gonna make it. And then he like puts in a piton and a rope and he sends the rope down. And he's like, okay, hook it up to your harness. And then he just jumps off, and the other person goes up, and then he belays the rest of the people up really efficiently. Climbs up himself.
All right. Yeah, it helps you guys get up, and now you're stuck with the last leg of the journey. This is where most of the adventurers find themselves turning back. It is the last leg is wrought with plenty of switchbacks, plenty of really narrow passage or cliff faces that you have to hug walls and shift along with lots of bridges and sometimes just gaps between cracks of the rock. Leaps and bounds must be made. Leaps of faith, as one might call it, must be made to successfully get up to Wormdoon Crag in a pretty efficient manner. There is, however, at this point, what is known as the Merchant's Path. It is going to give you twice as long, so it's a really roundabout way to get up, but it is very safe and does not require any tracks. It will increase the rest of your time by just as much as before. So at this point, if you're willing to go without having any tracks or without having any checks, then it will take you 5 additional hours to get up.
What time is it currently?
So you started this early, midday. You've gone 3 hours so far, so you're just after the afternoon. If you took the trek around, you would be arriving in Wormdoon Crag at early nightfall. Although on the side of the mountain, it's already in the dark from where the sun is. Right, the sun rises in the east, sets in the west. So then it actually would be right on you guys. No, with the mountain in front of you. Yeah, no. If it's already starting to get dark for you, just kind of given where you guys are. So whenever you arrived at the end of this 5-hour trek, it would take even longer, or it would be even darker. It'd be, it would really just be like 7 p.m. But it's pretty dark at this time.
I feel like we shouldn't probably take the path that leaves us out here longer with an angry Yeti on our trail.
Yeah.
I mean, with that being said, if this thing is our scent and is following us, should we be considering trying to set up an ambush for it?
It's a good question. Bitte, do you have any ideas for an ambush?
I do, but got a little minor emergency I gotta get addressed.
Okay.
I will be back, but I'm gonna sign off for just a minute.
No worries. Rosemary, do you have any ideas for a minor emergency? I mean, not minor
For a minor emergency.
a minor, a minor ambush, a big ambush.
I mean, setting up an avalanche is a potential, or like setting up something to collapse behind us. The only worry is if like the Yeti gives up and doesn't get that far. Is it like we might accidentally hurt a person?
You're so proper and nice, Rosemary. We might accidentally hurt a person. That's so innocent.
Listen, I got morals, okay?
What about all the animals though as well? All those Arctic hares and Arctic foxes and snow squirrels and white pheasants. I don't know what else lives up in the wilderness. Probably lots of D&D monsters as well. They would all die from your avalanche, or just be mildly inconvenienced.
I mean, most things that live up here are pretty used to it.
Yeah, I'm sure they're all light enough that they can just, as the avalanche comes through, they'll get pushed up on top of it. They'll roll around a little bit, end up a little further down the mountain, and just be like, dang it, and then head home.
Just the life of an everyday as a Arctic hare in the spine of the world. Yeah. Yeah. No,
Oh, come on, not again.
All right. Well, at this point, we'll make the decision with you two. Do you choose to just take the slower path, regardless of the fact of whether or not you're going to set an ambush? Do you want to get a slower path? And I mean, it's slow enough to say that you're going to get there in at least, at most 2 hours. Or do you want to take the faster path, which is 2 hours, or the slower path, which takes 5 hours, and is nice and open? It's just like a road, pretty much. Not really like a road, but
I'm thinking the faster path.
Agreed.
all right. Well then, why don't you
Make
go
haste.
ahead and roll? Each of you roll me a survival check, and I will roll one for Levi. As starting,
Can I give guidance to everyone potentially, since it's a cantrip? Was there a verdict in there somewhere?
I will say yes for now, until you get to a situation where you find yourself in danger.
Okay.
So
everyone add a d4.
Yeah.
So mine is a 15 now.
We'll just let Rosemary roll first, so that if she ever becomes an issue, then she wouldn't be able to give guidance. But if Rosemary does good, then everyone else can do good. So 15, good. Ooh, that's Levi's survival roll.
And I assist myself with
You may.
a puffin.
Yes.
Woo.
12 for Levi. 17 for Delandre.
Plus
Rachel.
1.
18 for Delandre. Rachel at 15. So we have. Everyone is good. Let's just all roll.
See, I feel like this.
Bitte.
You know, this mountain things. I'm getting the hang of it.
No issue there.
This isn't so bad.
This is not so bad at all. Dun, 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 dun. And Bitte is going to roll a 6. Make sure he doesn't get any advantage whenever it comes to survival checks. I don't think he picked like a favored terrain. He has favored enemy.
He does. He should have a favored terrain. All rangers have a favored enemy and a favored terrain, I think.
He might have replaced that. Like Tasha's added a bunch of stuff that replaces your
He took
things with the optional features.
He took primeval awareness, and so I think that changes his favored terrain. Or he took natural explorer.
Deft explorer replaces the natural explorer.
Gotcha. I don't see anything for him having advantage on checks in nature, so I believe he did not take the favored terrain. And so that's going to be a 2-2 split. We are 50-50. Let's see how we are doing here. We're going to roll a d2. Who wants to call it? Heads or tails, you succeed. Or even or odds?
God, evens.
Evens it is. Evens it
Hell
is. Yes. All right, the party progresses a bit further along the trail. You are now only a little while off, and you're gonna take let's just take a moment of a brief break here, and let's switch over to a different map. Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Let's just go ahead and place your characters on the southern end. On the very south. South left. Southwest. Southwest. Other map. Here. Put yourselves here. Oh god, that was in GM level. There you go. Where Levi and Bitte and Del Nadre and okay, good. Still put you in. Excellent. Alright. So, can y'all see the whole map?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Okay, good.
Presumably.
So your goal is to get to the top, all the way to the upper right. And yeah, let's take a brief break so we can hopefully catch back up with Bitte whenever he arrives. And so you guys are just kind of sitting there, catching your breath. You just had almost a moment of terror as Bitte, while looking after looking after Levi, loses his step a little bit, but through the combined efforts of both Roseberry and Del Nadra, you guys are able to keep yourselves not only on the same track moving forward, but preventing yourselves from falling back and going off into a different direction or slipping off the ledge. So it is, you guys are here, you're huddled up against a rock wall, cliff face, heavy snow around. You're pretty high up the mountain. From what Bitday's told you, you guys kind of just have to get around this next little valley, go back up, and then you'll come out to kind of like the plateau or the area that Wormdoom Crag is on. And it is just after he finishes that sentence that you hear another one of the Yetis calls.
Is it closer this time?
Roll perception.
Levi, did you hear that?
I did, Del Andre. I did.
Okay, well, it was like that earlier,
Well,
and you were just like, ugh.
I didn't hear it earlier. I'm sorry. I think I have something in my ear. Maybe some snow or something. You can definitely tell that it is much closer. Whereas before you heard the voice kind of echoing off the valley and the mountainside, this time it feels like you're almost in a direct line. Like perhaps the Yeti has already caught sight of you, or he's either above the valley at a vantage point where you can't see him, or he's well below, rampaging his way up towards you. But he's in your general area. There's still time for preparation.
Also, I think Levi should have his full health since we were able to rest on the thingamajigs.
Yeah, I should probably do that.
God, it's afraid of fire. I'm gonna start setting. Is there any sort of like shrub or like brush or something that I could like catch on fire?
You can dig into the ground underneath the snow and the like the icy undergrowth, but nothing there would be usable to set on fire. Nothing's dry, nothing's not frozen, and nothing's really a substantial amount of fuel to create a good fire. You still have torches though, but in terms of laying down some fire or setting fire to your surroundings, very little options there.
I'm gonna make sure everyone has a working torch. I say working.
I am back.
Oh, welcome
Hello.
back.
Sorry about that.
No worries. To recap you a little bit, we have now moved on to the more treacherous last little leg of the journey. We are now also moved on to solo survival checks. Just to confirm, you don't have anything that makes this your favorite terrain, correct? You just have...
Sorry, my Bluetooth cut out there for a second. Can you say that again?
You don't have anything that makes your snow favorite terrain, like a tundra or anything that would give you advantage to your survival check?
I mean, give me one, like, as far as explicitly, like, this gives you advantage on survival checks in X setting. No.
Okay. Yeah, then no. Not like role playing or experience wise. Just like because like some rangers have their favorite terrain, and I think that when Taj just came out, that kind of became something that people don't really take as often. And just take the more general one that's usable across all terrains. And so, all right, well, to catch you up then, we're now on all individual survival checks. You have one leg of the journey now left. We have moved on to a new map, and you just heard another Yeti call, abominable Yeti call. This one much closer.
Okay, Beta will tell everyone to get on guard and take 1 minute to, hang on, let me find when it's written. Okay, primeval awareness. The second to last paragraph. To attune his senses for any of his favored enemies, which are monstrosities. So he'll spend 1 minute in concentration to sense where this Yeti is.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
And where any other monstrosities within 5 miles are.
So in that minute, what are the other characters doing here? Levi is definitely lighting his own torch. He's gotten his greatsword out. He is shifting his gear to make him as deadly physically as possible. He has a torch in one hand, and he is going to, instead of using his greatsword, actually, we're going to have him have a torch and a hand axe. And Dill, I think
I want to climb up to the next ledge.
Okay, yeah. Climb to the next ledge.
Are there climbing noises?
All right. So you climb up. Does anybody else want to make their way up there? It's fairly easy. It's about, let's go with 10 feet. For the most part, the squares that go off are going to be as high as that ledge is. So the grid on the map is your movement, but it just climbing is going to be difficult terrain unless you have climbing speed. So, and Bitte, after your minute is done, you sense that the abominable Yeti has overtaken you, and that voice has came from above you. It's somewhere high up in the mountaintops above you. Not high up, but somewhere in the mountaintops above you.
Beta will relay that to the rest of the group. Say, he has circled around. We are heading into his grasp somewhere now.
He is within 1 mile of you. I would say actually less than a mile. He's less than a mile from you.
Stay alert. And Beta will begin to climb.
All right. So, as I said to the characters before, your goal is to get to, and I'll just draw a nice green square. Goal is to get to the green square. Green square means safety. Green square means you can get on the trail, and it's going to be like a short sprint almost to Wormdoom Crag. Once you jump across this crevice, whether through the bridges or not, you will be on the same level as Wormdoom Crag, and you can run and start to shout. In fact, you could, if you wanted to, begin to shout now and call for help. And there is a slight chance they might be able to hear your voice, or if you have anything that can amplify your voice, that could assist you in getting their attention as well.
Trying to remember if Beta has a whistle. Actually, I feel like I did say he used a whistle at one point.
I think you said he whistled, but still both very logical. You could, I would say, it wouldn't surprise me if Bite had made a bone whistle or something.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Beta will take his whistle and kind of pull it out from where it hangs on a lanyard around his neck, and will hand it to Del, I think. This whistle is powerful. It is dry air. There's yelling is difficult and dangerous almost. So if we are beset, you are the fastest. You make for Wormdoom Crag and blow on that whistle as hard as you can.
Got it. Yep.
All right.
Excellent.
Then let's begin our ascent. We will. You're going to start by just everyone climbing up past this little section here. And we'll take just like slow movements. It's like we're not going to have an initiative roll, but just kind of aim yourself for moving every 30 feet and then kind of going beyond that. Levi is going to stick with Del Nadre. That way, if you ever get into danger, he can throw himself in the way, and you can then continue to move on, leave him behind, and save the party with your whistle blowing. But did you suggest we move to the left?
Beta offers it as an option since it's a easier climb.
All right.
This shorter part here.
Yeah. All right. Levi agrees, and Rosemary Del Nadre. Are y'all coming along?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right. You guys kind of make your way and go along. Now, are as you guys are moving along, are you just moving Was there any intent to be stealthy? Or are you just trying to move as quickly as possible? Is it speed, or is it trying to sneak past the Abominable Snowman? Is the name of the game.
I mean, I think we should. Dell's probably trying to move with speed since the Yeti's not here, but is presumably coming this way.
Right. Yeah. And Bitte, do you need to continuously cast Primeval Awareness to get a better grasp on it, or
It doesn't say.
it just says
It doesn't say. It doesn't say if it's like a sustained thing. It just says you get a sense for where they are. Reveals if they're present, their numbers, general location and distance from you. And if there's multiple groups, it tells you the multiple groups. I don't think it's a sustained tracking thing.
Let's just roll a survival check to see whether or not you can kind of keep good grips on that, or if you need to take a moment to stop. Just see if you can make a check and see if hey, I think the Abominable Yeti's on his way, or hey, I think they're.
If I have advantage on that, that'd be great, but I don't think I do.
I'm also going to give you guidance. I don't know if that's going to help, but...
I don't know. Dale, does he have advantage?
Yeah, I mean, Tansy is assisting constantly.
Right, yeah. So Tansy flies up, kind of gives Bitte a good bird's eye view, and Bitte just kind of describes what he's looking for. Evidence of the Yeti's path, maybe some falling snow or mini avalanches as the Yeti tears its way through the snow, and the bird kind of comes flying down, squawking rather furiously in Del Nadre's ear.
You know you don't have to do that. We communicate telepathically. I can hear you.
Big white thing coming right down. Big white thing coming right down right now. Big white thing.
What?
Big white thing
Where?
coming right down right now. It's right there. Big white thing right
Beta
there.
will hold a attack for if the Abominable Yeti becomes visible.
All right. You're gonna hold your attack. Are you gonna just kind of await it right there, or are you gonna keep moving while holding your attack?
Beta will tell them to try and move stealthily, and that he's going to go ahead on his own.
Okay.
To draw attention.
Sounds good. So Bitte, move your 30 feet. Everyone else rolls stealth, and then move your 30 feet.
Before Bitte goes, Rosemary's just gonna kind of grab at his arm and just be like, "Are you sure you're gonna be okay?"
I promise.
Okay. Don't die.
Does guidance work on attack rolls?
But I have to be in touch range of you.
I mean,
think.
you can concentrate on it for a minute.
That's true. Concentration up to a minute.
What?
One ability check of its choice.
Okay, probably not. Anyway,
Yeah.
this is where Beat the most.
This is 10 feet across, probably.
Yeah.
Cool. Dell is going to run and jump.
Nice.
Why did they go to 25 then 75 feet? It seemed it's like running, and then the jump was maybe I misread it there. Maybe it was only 35 feet. Levi is gonna kind of look at you, and he's gonna take a step back, and he'll run and jump across as well. Rosemary, what is your stealth roll? And Levi or Dell, what is your stealth roll?
Guidance
Ooh,
myself for that.
that was almost a 4.
Okay. Woo.
So that's a 15 for my stealth.
15.
So I just go running, leap across the the little gap there, and then kind of baseball slide under a mound of snow.
Levi kind of does something similar, except it's more of a body slam, and he just kind of lands where he is, and he gets up, and he's just still snow covered. So you guys are just hiding right there. Rosemary, is that the path you're taking? Kind of following along with Bitte?
Yeah, it's my goal. I want to try to sort of help Bitte if I can.
Okay. All right.
Beta will concentrate on a Zephyr Strike.
Okay. Display the spell for that, the spell text for that, and we're gonna get right into this. So as you guys kind of like make
Big
your way
tansy.
around, and you start to get into the stealth mode, you start to sneak along. Bitte is making himself a bit bigger and more out there. You kind of hear it, this slow thumping.
I'll go ahead and move 30 feet further out, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Bitte, you kind of keep making the right way. You hear this big Yeti come.
And Beta starts doing like body language from the Yeti, and like culturally appropriate dominant body language.
Okay. So the Yeti kind of runs down, and it was kind of like ready to like jump before it kind of slides to a stop, and it turns, and there you are. It's caught by surprise, and it's just kind of like it just ponders you for a moment, and looks at you quizzingly, and it's like, what? Just did not. Typically, whenever the abominable Yeti is hunting its prey, they don't usually take a moment to stand their guard, and so he's thrown off a little bit. He's gonna roll an insight check, seeing what's happening here. And he gets an 8 on his insight check, so he is very confused here. And instead of being able to like rush forward and jump and like attack on his first turn, he kind of just takes a step and just waits for you. And so if you wanted to unleash anything, you are good to go here.
Yeah, so Beta has his held action. Would he also get like an actual round essentially ahead of him? Because it's like,
I would say, yeah, you could definitely do your Zephyr Strike along with your attack, because he kind of just like took that moment, and he was your intimidation worked on him to kind of confuse him.
He can do the Zephyr Strike at any point in the attack. I'm saying, can he do the action that he was holding and then essentially start a round of combat?
I would roll initiative after that. So no, you're just going to be able to get your Zephyr Strike with your surprise round, and then we'll get right into it. So you get your held action and your Zephyr Strike.
Works for me. Let me go ahead.
I know I didn't like claim that I had a held action. I was looking at my spells. Would I be able to get potentially a spell off, or should I just wait for initiative?
Yeah, so Beta using Planar Warrior makes a sharpshooter attack.
Get him.
15.
Are we just gonna do? Are you? Is the Yeti surprised? Are we just gonna do initiative with a surprise round, or?
No, this will be it'll be just Bitte, because
If I did specify he had a held action.
He had his held action. Rosemary, when you rolled your stealth, that was kind of your impression of like, you can still hold an action, so like you can still be like, oh, I want to attack, but it'll be
okay. Yeah, Rosemary was using her energy to sneak and wasn't ready to attack. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Also, Beta had for whatever reason the settings went back to being Dex for the darts. I'm very confused by this. I may just leave them at Dex and then adjust them in modifiers if it keeps doing this, but it's three higher than that, so I guess it's a straight 18 to hit and three more piercing, so 28 damage total.
Holy goodness gracious. 28 damage total. That hits, and your attack just gets like the force behind it. Your Planar Warrior, your Zephyr Strike, it's like the sound of a major league pitcher baseball like hitting the catcher's mitt. Just this thwack, this very resounding and satisfying hit as your dart just lodges itself into the kind of upper abdomen of the abominable Yeti.
Dope.
right in between its abs, severely pissing it off. But you were successful enough into attacking it. So, yeah, let me get this Yeti's.
And we all have 10 temporary hit points, yes?
Yes, it has been a new day.
Thank you for reminding me.
Duh. All right, the like 4 or 5 hit points that I took are back.
Yeah. Let me give a turn to Levi, and then we are going to get started here. It's good that the Yeti rolled low. I didn't have to adjust his initiative too much. All right. If I get 6. All right. Well, Bitte, you are right back up on the chopping block again.
All right, Beta will leave Zephyr Strike up because getting out of melee with this thing will be useful, and will Planar Warrior and send another 2 darts, all sharpshooter. So I click once and then take off Planar Warrior and then click again. It's a 14 on the first and a miss on the second.
Nice. You have extra attack? No. It's just offhand.
Oh.
Main-hand offhand.
Oh, right. Sorry, we're 4th level. Just the 14.
Okay. I was like, I don't know if it was like main-hand offhand, so just the 14. The 14
Yes.
is going to miss. The Abominable Yeti is going to try and just duck out of the way of this one as he is like pulling out the other dart and just like drops to the floor, and he is staring daggers at you, Bitte. His fur is all riled up on its up, like just he has a big like furry mohawk off the back of his back as his muscles just tense and his shoulder blades just coil and his arms are ready to rip your face off.
And Beta walks into the gap to stand the way,
And you are
will roar a Yeti roar.
That's a good one.
That was a very good one. Yeah. In fact, that was so good. Roll me intimidation here. Give me some more of that intimidation. Give it to me.
I have is +0 for this, so
+0. Oh no. I'll give you the advantage.
it doesn't come across. It doesn't come across to the human ear, but there was a voice crack in there, and that Yeti heard it.
Yeah, he kind of like his fear of you, or his not fear, but like his standoffishness, or just this kind of like anxiousness with your original standoff and showcase of power is diminished a bit with that, but still effective. You have drawn the attention. Delnadri, it is your turn.
Is the Yeti close enough to this edge that I can see it from the angle I'm at?
Yeah, because of how big it is, you can probably see its like head or upper shoulders, but not its full body.
And I am going to
He is going to get
attack.
some cover.
Presumably, oh, he is going to get some cover. Okay. I'm still going to go for it. Presumably, I'm hidden from where I'm at, so I'm just going to roll with advantage. That didn't roll with advantage, so I'll just roll another one. That's not going to hit.
All right.
And seeing that fail, I'm just going to bonus action dash.
Okay.
And leap across that gap.
Okay. All right.
And then what was that, like 45? I've still got like 10,
Yeah,
15. Just run around over there.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tansy is going to... Oh god, she's so large. Why are my tokens so big, Corey? Why haven't you fixed this?
I don't know what's going on.
Alright. Tansy! Rush in. What is your speed? You've got a lot of flight, don't you? Yeah, 60 feet of flying. She's gonna fly 30 feet in. Take the help action. and it says Bite. You do a lot of damage. And then she's just gonna fly like 30 feet up into the air, bloop, and just kind of squawk.
Okay. So you're gonna
Squawk.
you're assisting BT by kind of distracting the Yeti a bit by being in its vision.
Yeah, she's attempting to fly in and kind of get in his face and circle around behind him. Hopefully he's turning to look where she's going, and then she's straight up into the air.
Exactly. Rosemary, your turn.
I am gonna. I'm going to cast Flaming Sphere. So I'm gonna draw a little circle. 5-foot diameter sphere of fire. As a bonus action, I can move the sphere up to 30 feet. If you ram the sphere into the creature, that creature must make a saving throw against the sphere's damage. So, why does it just say saving throw? Why does it not say, like, what kind of saving throw?
It'd be your spell DC.
Yeah. But, like, what does it roll?
Oh, I guess.
Flaming Sphere is probably Dex, yeah.
Probably Dex. So I'm gonna ram the sphere into it, over here.
Yeah, dexterity saving throw.
Okay, good. All right, you're gonna ram it in there.
Yeah.
Just lug this huge flame, this sphere. Its confidence it had regained a bit. It retreats really quickly as the fire instills that fear in it, and it's just this is just kind of like is upset with this flaming
He's
spear.
big Angie.
Yeah, he's not happy. He doesn't want to be anywhere near it, and he's gonna make his way to shift across. Now he needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Yes, please.
Okay. He makes a dexterity saving throw. What is your spell DC?
14.
14. He makes it.
Fuck. Okay.
So he takes what, less damage? A little bit of damage? Half damage?
Oh wait, any creature that ends its turn. Okay, so it takes 2d6 on a failed save, or half as much on a successful. So it takes half of the 2d6.
Okay. Roll me that 2d6.
So it takes 4 fire damage.
4
and
fire
the sphere
damage.
stops moving, and hopefully it's my intention to try to discourage it from moving towards Bite
Okay.
by putting it here.
Yeah. All right. Good.
And also, if it ends its turn within 5 feet of it, it needs another dex save against taking the damage.
Gotcha. Yeah. So it does not want to be anywhere near that 5 feet, and so instead of kind of just moving forward to get to Bite, it doesn't quite see Rosemary yet, but it's gonna jump down, climbing down this cliff, and now look who is right in front of it.
Yep.
Not somebody who was ready. Now it's still like frazzled. The one thing you noticed when it took that fire damage is that it's put itself on so much alert that it's kind of like second guessing itself, and so like when it goes to swing at you, Rosemary, it's just gonna kind of like half-heartedly do it. So it's gonna be swinging with disadvantage here, and just because it's constantly like worried about the flaming spear up there. And so let's see, it is going to cast its chilling gaze on Bite because it still sees Bite over there.
I passed the save for it less than 24 hours ago, didn't I?
You are immune to chilling gaze for 1 hour.
1 hour? Shit.
Yeah. Let's see. If you save it, you are immune to chilling gaze of all Yetis, but not abominable Yetis for 1 hour. So not even that. It can still just redo it.
What the fuck? Excuse me?
Okay, what's the save?
This is it is going to be gonna need you to do a Constitution saving throw. Looking for an 18 here.
Fuck.
God damn it.
So you're gonna take 66 damage of cold damage. So that shouldn't be too bad.
Those are D6s, not.
Yeah.
So you'll take 19 cold damage. So half of that gonna put you down to 10.
Okay.
No, sorry. Yeah, 10. No?
9.
Nine.
No.
Roll, round down.
Round down.
Unless you want to do differently, DM. This is your campaign.
No, round down.
D&D standard, just a roll down though.
Round down. So 9 damage, 9 cold damage for you, Carson. That's with your resistance, and you are going to be paralyzed.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead.
Wait. Oh no! It says you are not paralyzed if you are immune to cold damage. Wait,
Immune.
oh damn it! You're not immune. You're resistant.
Can we call that stunned?
No, I'm not gonna call it stunned because it might create a dangerous precedent for the amount of Yetis that we're gonna have you face. If we do it now, then it's gonna make it easier and easier for Bitte to just become the Yeti killer, which you already are.
Cool.
And so the Yeti is now going to just go ahead and smack Rosemary twice.
At disadvantage, you said?
With disadvantage, so a 17 and a 17 for both attacks.
You said two 17s?
Yes.
At disadvantage?
Yes.
Sure, cool.
You don't want to know the advantage one. It was pretty
Oh.
hefty. It rolled a 29.
Shit.
So it's
You
gonna
don't
do-
want to know, so let me tell you.
Oh my fucking god.
I curse you with this knowledge.
Okay, so you're gonna take 38 damage.
Cool. If I didn't have those temporary hit points, I would be at 1 hit point right now.
Oh, good. Goodness. Now the Yeti just kind of lets out this guttural scream, just right in your face, Rosemary, as it just is pissed. I believe you also need to roll concentration for your flaming sphere.
Oh, fuck. Wait, so I need to beat half of the damage, so I don't know if I can.
What was the damage again? 30 something?
39.
Well, it's each individual attack. It's not the total damage for the turn.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's 2
Oh, so
con
what-
saves against 2 small against the 2 attacks.
Yeah, so my apologies there. So,
Unless you want to do it differently, DM, it's your campaign.
so it's going to be 20 damage for the first one, and then
So I beat a 10.
Fuck yeah.
18.
You passed both. You would
Nice,
have beat
okay.
30 damage for either.
Cool.
Woo!
Way to go.
Way to go, Rosemary. That flame sphere is still in there.
You go, girl.
Levi is going to round up our team there, and he is going to come from behind, and he's going to swing the torch twice. Is the torch a weapon?
It deals 1 fire damage.
1 fire damage?
Yep.
He's not gonna rage though. He's not gonna.
He's gonna rage. He's 100%
Okay.
gonna rage. Sorry. He's gonna rage. He's gonna rage, and Levi is going to. Gosh, does he have like 2 weapon fighting? I don't think he can
Yeah,
attack.
please don't kill Levi while he's not here.
He can action surge. He is going to attack with his torch, and then he will action surge to attack with his greatsword to make sure that he gets that fire damage attack. So what is 1d20 plus his strength of 4? 17 will hit, so it will take 1 damage. Once again, just making him recoil. In fact, we'll just throw him back a little bit as he takes that hit. Well, no. He's not going to throw it back because that'll put him out of the range of Levi's.
Yeah, so he gets a knight's attack of opportunity.
Great sword attack. The great sword attack, however, is going to miss out here. Not going to deal any damage. But he did get that that fire damage off. So the Yeti is once again going to continuously going to be fearful again. And Bitte, we're back up to you.
Do I make my save at the top or the bottom of my turn?
Let's. I will give you some concession here. We'll make it the top. You've probably been subjected to a 24 crit with a what a duality of man right there.
Beta breaks out with a very how fucking dare you energy, and will huck a javelin at advantage from help from Tamsi. After planar warrioring, and we'll throw for
Will a 18 hit
That will.
for pretty crap damage, but 18 damage.
It's pretty good. Respectable.
Yeah.
Y'all are bloodying up the Yeti, that's for sure.
And Beta will go ahead and come around Rosemary to interpose himself a little, give a little shoulder check. Not enough to shove, but
Rosemary's very grateful.
yeah, he squares up. He squares up on this fucking Yeti. Oh, actually, I need to do a con save. From my spell when I get attacked. But yeah, that will end my turn, and he passes. Okay.
Excellent. What was that concentration for?
Zephyr Strike,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
because it has another effect.
All right. Delnadra, you're up.
Bonus action. We dashin'.
Yeah,
10,
fucking
20,
run.
30, 40. Okay, before I go any further, to blow a whistle. Is that a free action, or am I going to have to, like,
That's a free option.
use an action?
You can do
Okay.
your object interaction for your turn.
Then, from up here, I'm going to go ahead and fire a short bow. Make sure I got my sneak attack on, because I got plenty of allies within range. Does a 20 hit?
It does. Yeah.
16 piercing damage.
16 piercing damage. You guys are...
And then from 40, 50, and... I'm hidden. And from up here, I'm going to blow the whistle. Flee! People of the Goliaths, we need help.
So you blow it. Now, Bente, is there like a certain whistle command, or is this a special whistle just that makes a certain pitch that your Goliaths are kind of keyed into, or is it just who's blowing a whistle? Let's go check that out kind of situation.
So
40.
I'm pretty common just in like mountaineering and survival type settings, like, oh, you carry a whistle because if you're trying to shout for help, you're gonna go hoarse and not be found.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably just a standard whistle, so it's very high pitched, very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
But anyone hearing it and attempting to respond probably wouldn't know a difference between, oh, it's a Yeti attack, or oh, I'm trapped under a rock, or it would just generally indicate urgency.
Okay. Yeah.
Or at the very least, if there is a specialized Yeti attack call, Beta forgot to mention it.
All right. Well, yeah. So you we'll move on to Rosemary's turn then.
Just yeah.
Okay, bonus action. I'm gonna.
Just as a side
Second.
note, Tansy is helping Levi.
Levi. All right. Tansy.
She's gonna fly in, help, and then end up somewhere over there.
Oh, over here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Kind of flies in once again, just kind of distracting.
Yeah, she's just gonna fly by and just like grab onto the hair on the back of his neck and pull on it with her beak.
Mm-hmm.
And then continue flying by and try and end up, 20-ish feet in the air.
Good. But although we do say that, it should be noted that Tansy is not actually interacting with the Yeti. She is just providing help to Levi. So
correct.
Flavorfully, she went up there and abominable snowman, or pulled the abominable snowman. But mechanically,
Yeah, she's not. I mean, she's not doing damage to it, but
yeah,
she
what
can.
I'm just trying to say is
she
like,
can
she's
yank
not,
on its fur.
She's not coming within attack of opportunity range unless she has some way to.
Well, sure she is, but she has the flyby feat.
Oh, okay, good. I was worried.
Yeah.
I was like, Where's this like flavor?
She has to get within 5 feet to help of the enemy, regardless. So.
Oh, so she always has to move.
But she has flyby because Tansy is just a reskinned owl.
Okay, good. Well, that helps. That makes it so much better. Okay, Rosemary. Levi has help, but it is your turn now.
Okay, I'm gonna first ram my sphere back into this guy.
Okay.
Kaboom. I need a dex save.
Needs a dex save. Dex save of a 10.
Yeah, and he fails. He takes 7 fire damage.
7 fire damage.
I am in attack of opportunity range, so I'm nervous about retreating. Can I use my action to light a torch? Technically I can, because I can use Druidcraft, so as long as I can pull out a torch and then use my action to light it.
Yeah, that's fine. It's no problem. I was trying to figure out a way, like, but yeah, no, like you could equip a torch, but then unless you had somebody who had a torch near, if you were next to Levi, maybe I would say you could just move your torch there. But yeah, no, you'd have to do something to light it. Now, if you shifted over, you could probably light it on your flaming sphere, and then you wouldn't. It would just. Yeah, let's just go with it. It's easier. It's an action to light it. Yes.
Yeah, because it's either I light a torch or I turn into something else, and then I still can't do anything. So, I'm lighting a torch and waving it threateningly in a hope to either inflict some sort of fear or disadvantage on it attacking in our direction.
All right. So the abominable snowman, the abominable yeti, is not happy. He's gotten all of these.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have fucking chased us.
He's not happy. All this fire's going on. He thought he was going to come in and deal with these weekend adventurers, and no, look at this. They've already recovered themselves. So he is going to... He's going to take steps back. So attack of opportunities for everybody. From Levi, from Bitte, and from Rosemary. So let's see. That will hit for 3 damage.
Nice.
That will hit for 19 damage. Can you throw a dart? Can you do a ranged attack with attack of opportunity?
No, but if you knock another 5 off that, I can make an improvised weapon attack with it.
It would still hit, yeah. But it would. So even with the 5 off, it would be fine. But would it deal the same amount of damage?
It would still be in it. You could if you wanted, you could drop the roll to a 1 because it's an improvised weapon. But it is, but there is. I've never been really clear on what the rule is with it's analogous to X, so give it the X damage. That's always seemed like a weird amount of gray area to leave. If you want to say that it only deals the 1 damage, then you would just knock 2 off of that number.
I mean, it's still kind of a javelin. Can you just make a javelin attack?
Well, it's. I guess ultimately my question is the sharpshooter aspect of it.
It's still an attack with a ranged weapon. I'm taking a -10 to hit.
-3 to hit.
Just throwing that out. Well, -8 to hit then.
Technically, could you just take the second roll as it being at disadvantage, and then still have the sharpshooter and stuff?
Well,
it gets kind of. I think it gets kind of finicky because an opportunity attack is specifically stated to be a melee attack.
It is a melee attack made with a ranged weapon. You can make melee attacks with ranged weapons.
That's fine.
Which is
they are counted as improvised weapons.
Right.
So then,
like if you have a sling with a stone in it.
Right. Okay. So if it was a melee attack with a ranged weapon, I have no problem using the dart. It was just strictly the sharpshooter and the. What would your roll be if you didn't have sharpshooter or archery attached to it?
Without sharpshooter,
It'd just be the 25 then, right?
Yeah, without sharpshooter or archery, it would have been. I just wouldn't have used my. I'm just not proficient with. So actually, it's a better roll than I thought. I'm just not proficient with improvised weapons, so it would just be a -2. So it would be a 20.
Technically, the sharpshooter should work if he's allowed to make the improvised attack, because he is making an attack with a ranged weapon. Sharpshooter doesn't specify that it has to be a ranged attack. It just says before you make an attack with a ranged weapon that you are proficient. Oh, that you are proficient with.
It says that. Fuck.
So if he
Okay.
so if he's using it with a ranged weapon but in an improficient way. Okay, so what is your
Yeah,
damage?
then I guess he can't sharpshoot
Okay,
it.
so just the
So then you
just the 7, I guess.
so you still hit, so just 7 damage then?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That works.
I have a great dream about a
You still get the favored enemy though, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so
7
you
plus
still get the
2.
+2.
So 9.
40. Yep. And then Levi's
I have a great dream about about someone that dreams of being an archer, but they take Tavern Brawler and Great Weapon Master, and they're because since the longbow has the heavy quality, and they're just bashing people to death with a longbow.
Nice.
Oh my goodness. All right, Levi is going to so he kind of just clambers up. He takes a couple of cuts. You can see he's kind of starting to he's beginning a little bit bloodied up. But when he's up there, he is going to like take a deep breath in, and he's going to unleash this cold, icy breath. It's going to be a 30-foot cone, so it's going to hit all 3 of you all. And I'm going to need a Constitution saving throw from each of you.
Thank fuck.
Come on.
Okay, good. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm Levi. I'm like waiting on Levi over here. Come on, Levi. Get your shit together. Here we go. Con saving throw 12. All right. So Levi's the only one who's going to take full damage from
Does he have any like resistance to cold, or
he,
or does he just like not wear shirts for flavor?
he just nights wear shirts for flavor as part of his Azamar background. It has nothing to do with his resistance to cold, though. All right, so 10d8 damage. Rachel and Carson, you will take half. And I will take full.
So 23,
Yes.
which
Okay.
I end up with.
All right, so Rosemary sways on her feet, and just kind of looks like she's like about to pass out, but then like kind of just staggers forward, and I use my relentless endurance. When you're reduced to 0 points but not killed outright, you drop to 1 hit point instead. So I'm at 1 hit point.
All right, and so the Yeti...
Beta watches this and says, "Rosie, run."
Yep.
He's going to move about 20 feet back with the remainder of his movement, and that'll end the Yeti's turn. Now, Levi was hurt just as much as Rosemary was, and he's gonna. Oh, nice crit there for your.
So does that
flames.
mean my thing is still up? Because I took 20. How many damage?
Yeah, it would still be up.
Yeah, because it's
Or-
half of the damage I took, and I took 20 something, so that would be in the teens if I. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you would have to have taken 48 damage for that to have.
You'd have to
50
Someone
damage
do not
actually,
save.
because
Oh, that's right.
48 would be exactly the DC of
Oh
24.
yeah, 49.
49.
Good
Okay.
catch.
And Levi actually took half, so he did not take his full. Oh wait, is he only resistant to physical damage or all damage when he's raging? 'Cause this was cold.
I think it's just bludgeoning,
It's
piercing,
bludgeoning, piercing. Yeah.
Okay, so then he does take the full.
slashing.
He is cold, shivering, and he is going to roll an insight check to see whether or not he's going to be stupid and come to Rosemary's aid, or if he's going to be smart and run away. and I'll give him an insight at disadvantage since he is raging. Sorry, with disadvantage. Okay, he's smart enough. He is going to say goodbye, not wanting to kill himself, and he's going to take a 30 feet little kind of maneuver back behind
DM, I love and respect your choices, but I feel like Ben would be screaming that Levi wouldn't care.
Fine. He's going to move 30 feet up towards Del Nodri, still getting close or on his path to safety, but not rushing after the Yeti unnecessarily.
No, I'm saying I feel like Levi the kind of person to he would be assisting Rosemary regardless, if that was a consideration.
That's true. That's our Levi. What a good man. Bitte, it is your turn again.
Idiot that he is.
Bita will come to here. Here. And, I guess there. Bonus action, planar warrior, and loose another dart at Sir Fuckwit.
Okay.
Planar warrior back on there. Is Tamsy helping?
Tansy technically helped Levi.
Yeah,
Tansy could help on Levi that turn.
Gotcha. Missing.
Miss. The Yeti, who at this point is kind of like backing away with his front still facing you all. He is not determined necessarily to continue the battle, but doesn't want to turn back and put his back to you all. Bitte, after you move there, do you have any remainder movement to adjust otherwise?
Not that I plan on adjusting otherwise.
Okay. Del Nodri, you are up.
I'm going to I'm probably within range. I'm going to channel my inner focus and take steady aim.
Okay. Nice.
Get him.
Then I'm going to fire a short bow. Oh! 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 Double 20s!
What?
Holy shit, my dude.
So, are we taking the 12 or are we taking the 13 here?
It's both.
Yeah, because the second one is critical
It's a total
damage.
of 25 damage.
Oh, okay. Nice. Woo! Your steady aim, you unleash this arrow and you get it in the eye. There's this big gush of blood as it just loses part of its vision. It just screams, grabbing its hand on its face, and it's just roaring about you.
Does that disable its frozen gaze or whatever?
Haha, yeah, it halves the DC because it only has one eye now.
Or it makes it even more frightening as like one eye is just bloodied and pussing as it chills you with its gaze. Adele, anything else you'd like to do to... Oh yeah, Tansy still has to act.
Squawk, 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 squawk! She's gonna end up pretty close to this thing, but she's gonna give she's gonna help Bite this time around.
Alright, helping Bite.
Ooh, wait! Hold on, wait, I just remembered, because she was helping Levi, he would have had advantage on his attack of opportunity, right? Oh, he hit anyway.
He hit with it,
didn't he?
Yeah, I didn't
Roll it anyway, see if he crits. Crit
See if
fish.
he crits.
That's fine. That's fair. It's fair. Because if he does crit and he somehow appears with more damage, you might be able to finish it off. Oh my goodness. Oh god. Oh, please don't crit. Please don't crit. Oh, that was close.
That was actually pretty close,
yeah. He does do... Well, the roll is different, though, so... yeah, he's still good. Still where it at. Still is at.
Yeah,
Not
that's fine.
dead. Rosemary.
I couldn't remember if he'd hit or not, and I was like, oh, wait a sec.
But if it was an improvement...
Yeah.
Rosemary's gonna ram him.
I'll give him the extra 2 damage, sure. Alright.
Wah.
Ram it.
Bam.
Ramming speed.
Give me a dex check. It's 2d6, we said?
20s. Oh.
Or a dex save, I guess.
What's your DC?
14.
14? He passes with his disadvantage.
Okay. And then Rosie's gonna... Okay, first off, DM, why is there a green patch right here?
That's your safety zone. That was,
That's the goal.
had everyone gotten to there, you would have been able to run away.
Okay, Rosemary's gonna run to the safe zone by doing 30 feet and then using her action to dash.
Okay. Sounds good. Rosemary gets to the safety zone.
Because Vitae told her to run, and she can't do any good when she's dead.
Yeah, the abominable snowman was on its last legs, guys. Like, so close to death. It is like weakened, but as Vitae might know, even the most weakened Yeti is still going to be a dangerous creature. It is, however, though, going to dash away, leaving the fight.
Forward.
So it's gonna exit, and it kind of just like climbs away, and then just starts to like clamber down the side.
How far is it?
It's out of sight. How far do you have to get to the edge of the map? Could you get there in one? Could you exit the map in one movement?
Yes.
Yeah, your speed is 45, isn't it?
What? I don't think so.
I don't think.
Wait,
so.
what is your speed?
Just 30.
My speed's just 30, I believe, but...
Yeah. So from where you are, 50 to get to the edge of the map. 55 to technically exit the map.
Mm-hmm.
So while you could get there in one turn, but you'd be using your dash, right?
Yes.
So you could get to the edge after you dash, but by the time that it came back around for you to be able to throw a dart, he would have been out of sight. Now,
okay, so he's out of sight unless I make it off the map.
Think of it like this: like he's going to the edge of the map and then climbing down. So unless you were able to get to the edge to look down and still have the action to throw, by the next time that you'd be able to throw, he'd be, out of sight. He would have clambered down and went to a valley and gotten away. Especially considering he's already known that you throw very powerful darts.
Okay, can I get to the edge and then Hunter's mark him?
Yes. If that's a bonus action. Yeah, that's a bonus action, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can Hunter's mark him. Throw that mark on that baby. Get him that marked. And then he disappears. And now, it is just at this time that a couple of Goliaths from Wormdew Crag rush over
Infectious.
and start to provide some assistance to...
I cannot wait to tell all of these Goliaths about this extraordinary feat that we've accomplished. We scared off a Yeti.
Not even just a regular Yeti, an abominable Yeti. That is
How extraordinary. What a feat.
What a feat. So the Goliath warriors arrive and begin to provide aid. They take
Okay, but the next round, how far away is it?
It is... Let's see, it can dash. So it's going to do... 80 feet straight down? It's just climbing straight down the cliffside.
Okay. So it's 80 feet below me.
Well, it moved, it's 40, and then one already... So it's 120 feet below you. But...
Perfect. Javelin.
Okay. If we want to make... If we're going to make this happen, I'm giving it 3/4 cover.
I ignore cover.
That's true, sharpshooter baby.
God damn it.
Vitae's like, I'm killing this thing.
God damn it.
It's his favorite enemy.
It is his favorite enemy, and, like, I really don't want to have to deal with this thing again.
Yeah,
I'm gonna... and I didn't...
the 14, it's just a 4, so 11 damage.
Just 11 damage? Just 11 damage?
Yes.
Just 11 damage.
Yes.
I have 12 HP.
didn't have 12, but 11 would not kill it. I'm sorry.
Beta throws himself down on top.
Now, did you like significantly wound this Yeti? Yes. You.
Wait, is that include? Oh, you include the hunter's mark? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys.
God,
And you should have gone for the sharpshooter.
See,
so
but
close.
It's not a. It doesn't work.
Oh,
with
that's right. It's a
javelins,
javelin. It
unfortunately.
doesn't work.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
If it did,
well, then
believe me.
so then you don't have sharpshooter then.
No, so it's just the hunter's mark and the favorite enemy. So
Okay,
it's
but still.
it's the 4.
So
not
it's
the 4.
7 plus 4.
With the 24, I don't think even with 3/4 cover at a +5, it still would have been hit. Goddamn.
Well, he
Well, it
still
doesn't
gets
have
the
it,
effect
of
of the 3 years cover
Yeah.
from sharpshooter. He
Yeah,
just
no,
can't
it
make
gets-
it he can't do the penalty thing.
Yes.
Okay. So
The wording on sharpshooter is so fucking annoying. I have to say, any representatives from Wizards of the Coast who are watching the stream, I know you're not, but release some errata where you make this thing cohesive.
Yeah, Jeremy Crawford slumming it on our stream. You better fucking get your shit
Because the first bullet in sharpshooter is attacking at long range doesn't impose disadvantage on your ranged weapon attack rolls. So that's just, you can attack at long range, and as long as you're making a ranged weapon attack, which anything you make at range, even if it's with a melee weapon, it's a ranged weapon attack, you don't get the disadvantage. Your ranged weapon attacks ignore half cover. Once again, you can throw a melee weapon and you get to ignore half cover. But then on the third bullet, it specifies before you make an attack with a ranged weapon that you are proficient with. And that's the part where now you don't even have to be making a ranged weapon attack. You just have to be attacking with a ranged weapon.
God damn it.
It's so annoying.
So that's what you were saying earlier
Which-
when you have like the longbow.
Which actually, hang on. Let's re-examine this. From the attack before, the sharpshooter attack before. Let's re-examine this.
Okay.
What do we think?
Oh, are we talking about the dart attack?
Yeah, the dart attack before, when you make an attack with a ranged weapon. Oh wait, no, God,
That you are proficient
It was
with.
the proficiency was the sticking point.
Yeah,
Damn.
ranged weapon that you're proficient with.
Oh, I'm taking Tavern Brawler. I'm taking Tavern Brawler so hard.
All right. Well, the Goliath warriors arrive to provide aid to those of the party that needs it. And
Beta leaves off one final roar to follow it into its madness.
And after you've soundly beaten down the abominable snowman, that, man, guys, like, CR9, good job.
Yeah, and the 2 of us are almost dead.
Guys,
You
Dell
could
is
literally
looking
murder me
so
in 1 hit.
Dell is looking so cool right now. He's not even touched.
Yeah,
I'm
you
so
ran
Legolas.
away.
I'm so Legolas up on this like hilltop.
Oh, goodness.
The entire point of the fight was like, keep away Dell.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on. Del.
And I 100% aced my roll is all I'm saying, and I did some sweet damage. I'm feeling pretty. Dell's looking a little like got a little bit of a swagger in my step, man.
Question for Del. Does he have any damaging touch spells? Because he gets in Tamsy after this motherfucker.
No, I do not.
No.
He
What
can't.
about Rosemary, who tanked 2 hits and a ice breath from a Yeti with her face? It's over here patting Dell on the shoulder like, you did good, kid.
Yeah, I could just see Bitte just grabbing Tansy and just throwing Tansy after him, after the Yeti, just like, go get him. All it needs.
Tansy was actually was absolutely flying along to assist. You know, I was going to say that, but since the roll was made and didn't need the advantage anyway, I didn't try to get in front of that. But if Bite turns back, she's gonna come back. I mean, she can't do anything other than distracting.
Yeah, but you know what? Now Beta has a witness, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
To this glory that he executed. Before, when he fought a Yeti and won, it was a fluke. This time, This time it's his own.
Yeah.
She's gonna
And he
fly
didn't
in
just
and
kill it, he didn't
land
just
on your
surprise it.
antlers.
He made it flee.
Yeah. Now you've made a mortal enemy with that Yeti. So
Beta finds a patch of Yeti blood and eats it.
Good, bring it on.
all right. So you guys are gonna make
He
the
like
rest.
holds it up to the Goliath and like shit the other Goliaths and shakes it and roars and then smears it all over his face and eats it.
And they in the without knowing the context at all, they replicate your energy and your excitement and your motion. They kind of just as they're helping Rosemary and she bleeding a little bit on the ground, they also pick up her blood. No, they don't do that.
Oh god.
Considering their chief's name is like Orc Killer or something, I'm just like, I don't know if I feel safe.
Like the medics that are gonna help you just take your blood and smear it on their face, and then they look at you with a straight face and say, "Okay, let me just get you fixed up here now, dearie."
Dale's gonna pull out his
What was that?
Dale's gonna pull out his sketchbook and just draw a very quick outline just while it's in his head. I'll come back and I'll come in and actually sketch in the details, fill in the lines. I just want to draw like a quick. It's gonna be a nice 2-page spread of Dale shooting that Yeti in the eye.
Oh man.
I'm just getting a quick composition. Like I'm just gonna do a quick sketch so I can get the landscape set in my mind. Just a little a little like blob of the Yeti like rah, with its hands like reaching up and just a nice little crouched Dell over on the right hand corner and I'll work on that later.
Beautiful.
Rosemary,
And no one else is in the picture.
Nobody else.
No, that's not true. Well, no one's in the picture yet.
Rosemary, did you were saying something?
I think I was.
Okay. All right then. Well, you all, the Goliaths, for those of you who need more of the assistance, that being Levi and Rosemary, provide some minor aid to you, and for the most part, kind of bring their, they throw together some stretchers with their cloaks and their spears, and they help carry Levi and Rosemary back to back up the final leg of the journey to Wormdoom Crag. Now Wormdoom Crag is a cave complex. That's where Bitte grew up and lived on the north face of a mountain that is 15,000 feet high. So you guys kind of are at like you still have not made the full journey, but it's at this point that the Goliaths have their like lower villages or so. You know, those people who want to live on the outskirts of town. You've hit the edge of that, and so it makes it a lot easier going. There's a lot more pathing and travel between these minor little outcroppings and Wormdoom Crag that is really easy for the rest of the journey. And so we are going to switch maps. I'm going to ask you to place your character on the top of the map.
I feel like while Rosemary is on the stretcher, she's already like starting to tell the story of the fight with the Yeti, and she's like super hyping up Bitte, of being like, he was wreathed in flame and made the Yeti flee in terror. One eye less from the sharp shooting of our friend Dell. Levi bravely stood up to the beast, and I threw fire from my fingers at it.
Yeah. Beta's like 15 feet away with another guy that's just on his own from the group. It's like, and she took the frost right in the face.
So as you approach Wormdoom Crag from the north. Fresh tracks in the snow make it relatively easy to find the Goliath settlement of Wormdoom Crag and the northern slope of a soaring mountain.
Do my eyes deceive me?
See that
Where are
chewing
we supposed to be?
Oh,
Here-ish.
Yeah, to the north more. At the very top. Following these tracks leads you to a cave, outside of which the bones of a dragon lie half buried in the snow. Past these remains, torchlight flickers in a pair of tunnels that burrow into the mountain leading west and south. Additionally, there are some torches that have been set out as the nights get long on the outside of the crag. But Bitte would know that these torches would put out as the night goes on. East of the Dragon's Bones, rough-hewn steps climb to a 20-foot-high open-air arena with stone bleachers carved into the eastern wall. Rising from the arena floor are more than a dozen pillars of rock, each 5 to 8 feet tall and about a foot in diameter. As you guys walk up, you already are hearing the roar, the scream, the intensity of competition going on right now at the Goat Ball Arena. They seem to be in the midst of a very heated battle. And there's all like, and he scores! Goal! Very soccer fashion, kind of officiating. Not officiating, what is it called? Square casting? Yeah. So, just as a point of order, when you are within Wormdoon Crag, it is 1 square equals 10 feet. So your tokens are all shrunk. You should have no issue.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they are now. Except for you, Dan Andre. I have no idea what is wrong with your character. But you arrive, and there are a number of Goliath warriors that were kind of with you. You lost a couple of them, but you kind of gathered some more. Many of them began to just talk to Bitte directly, welcoming you back, Bitte, and just, kind of giving you that warmth and excited to hear your story, excited to hear about your travels, what's been going on. They're just so dang excited. And so,
as we're walking into town, Dell is gonna be kind of, pretty bundled up in the cold weather gear to begin with, but just kind of trying to keep the hood up, set his tie off things, and sort of just give himself the general appearance of like Aragorn in the tavern. I want to look like I'm a tough hunter ranger man.
All right.
Rosemary, meanwhile, like on the brink of death, is just super excited. Like she has like probably like 2 black eyes, a split lip, and like frostbite across her face, but she's still like, oh my god, oh my god,
oh my god. It's time. This will be is this Rosemary's first time going to Wormdoon Crag?
I believe so.
Or first time in a really long time. Ultimately, it's up to you. But if you had made the trip, you would have made it probably as like a small child, maybe one time with your family, with Goliath, with Bitte.
I think she's always wanted to travel, but I don't know if she ever actually like got the chance.
Right, because you kind of never really spent a lot of time outside of Kuldahar until you came on the journey.
Exactly. So like her whole big goal was eventually to like leave Kuldahar and see like 10 towns and the rest of stuff. So I feel like she probably hadn't been here, maybe. Mm-hmm. Also to not retcon all of the stuff we had last session of like her being super excited to meet his family for the first time. Because I imagine if she'd been here as a child, she would have met his family. Unless
also during as a child, Bitte's very large family conveniently was not there. But yeah,
they were all on a family vacation without.
So as
Bitte.
You guys arrive and you start like the kind of Goliath warriors just say goodbye to Bitte. You've chatted along your journey, and now they're gonna kind of move on down. They're both gonna go and work their way towards trying to catch the last little bit of that goat ball match.
When I used the last charge of my conjure animal charm, did that like mark just completely fade from my skin, or is there like any leftover residue that's just powered down? Or Do I get like a cool permanent Chewinga rep tattoo?
I would say it's powering down because it's happened so like recently. Maybe it's like a it's like a what are those tattoos you get that is
Henna.
yeah, henna. It's like a henna tattoo that's been there for a couple of weeks. It's still going to take some time to disappear. It's rapidly disappearing now that the power's gone, but you still have something.
All right. Well, then I want to approach the Chewingas and like flash the mark to just be like, "Hey, man, I'm friend of the Chewinga."
Yeah, as you guys approach, the Chewingas kind of like duck in and out and pop their heads out in the bones of this ancient dragon.
I'll stay at a distance.
The Chewingas kind of just play around for a little bit and are very interested with the newcomers that are coming in. You see two Chewingas, although you kind of like the longer you just kind of sit there and wait, more appear until finally 4 Chewingas have kind of popped their head out of this dragon and are just kind of staring off and looking at you. I will describe them briefly here. Chewinga 1, and we'll go Chewinga and then go down the block as 1, 2, 3, 4. Has a white face with a dark triangle painted over one eye. It is very fascinated by Dale. And when you haven't approached yet, correct?
I'm kind of staying at distance. I want to see how. I don't want to just like run over. It's like when you see a dog. You're not just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna sprint up to this dog. I'm kind of waving and trying to show off my Chewinga mark. Like, hey, I've had good dealings with your people. I'm cool.
Bitta, do you have a beard?
And then waiting to see how they respond. If they're just kind of like, oh, okay, cool, then I might approach.
They do seem very open to interact with you, but they don't seem very open to leaving the safety of the ancient dragon bones.
All right, I will slowly approach and then wait to be welcomed into their abode.
All right. Chewinga 1, who seems to have a fascination with the smaller creatures, runs up and runs up onto your shoulder and then ratatouilles you. So runs into your hair and grabs both of it as if he's like on the back of a horse or on the back of like a slog or something, a sled dog. And kind of like as you turn to the left, he turns like your hair. He pulls your hair to the left. As you turn to the right, he pulls your hair to the right. He's never moving you in the direction you want to go. He's just kind of mimicking it as if he's controlling you.
I grudgingly allow this to happen because I love these guys.
Bitte, do you have a beard?
Beta does not have a beard.
Okay. The second Chewinga has a white face with 2 concentric blue rings around one eye. The third Chewinga is a bit more hesitant and has a black and curly antenna that grows out of its head. It currently is like, it's not as interested in the players and seems to be admiring itself in a small icy reflection, like it's made a mirror of itself out of a pool of water that's frozen over. And the fourth Chewinga has a gown made of pine needles. Oh god, yeah. And those are those Chewingas. So is Rosemary, Levi, Bitte, do you guys approach the Chewingas? Do you pay them no mind and make your way up to the Goat Ball Arena, or do you take a trek further into the Worm Dune Crag?
I would like to say hello to the Chewingas.
Say hello.
Yeah, I mean, Beta, he comes home. He comes home plenty. Chewingas are, still kind of a new thing, so I'll hang out.
All right. Give me 1 second. Okay, better. That was probably a gross sounding a sound y'all had to listen to. So Bita, Levi, Rosemary, you all approach, and one by one, the Chewingas slowly begin to make friends until finally they all attach themselves to you. The fourth Chewinga, the one that made of a gown, attaches itself and kind of like, well, for the time that you were here in Warndrin Crag, will follow you around, Rosemary. The one that was worried about its own vanity is going to be attracted to Levi. And finally, the third one, that of which the second one, it holds a pine cone in its hand, Bitte, as it approaches you and begins to maybe prickly and maybe painfully scratch it across your chin as if trying to comb your beard.
Oh. Also, sorry, go ahead.
Beta has very, very tough, very stony, bumpy skin and will take it like a champ with Stone's endurance.
Just like, yes, this is good, as he like drags this like frozen pine cone across your face.
Remind me which one is following me around.
You have the one in the gown made of pineapples.
I have the girl one.
Yes. Which just attached. Unless you have a beard, you have the girl one. I don't think you have a beard, but I don't know.
You could.
You could have. It's fine.
It's been a while. I don't know if we've been able to shave lately.
I can't remember the last month that I took a shower. So yeah, you guys have some Chewinga allies and friends to follow you around. Kind of similar before. Should you spend enough time with them, they will grant you a boon. Levi will say.
Mary's gonna pop off a good berry and give everyone a berry to give to their Chewinga, and hand my Chewinga a good berry.
It takes it, and it looks at you, and it looks at the good berry, and it crushes it in its hands in between it, and it like smears it between it, and it like wipes it down its pine needles, and now it is wearing a purple gown.
Nice. I say it's very pretty.
When you open your mouth, it attempts to stick its face in your mouth. Yeah. This will become a very common occurrence for you, Rosemary, as it has a fascination with whatever people put in their mouth, and it believes that there is some endless tunnel that you can dive into.
Going to have to be careful not to bite this fucking thing. It's the horse issue all over again, but now she's the horse.
Your irrational fear has come to life. Oh no! I can't stop. I'm closing my mouth. All right.
Levi's blood.
I don't know.
Oh, hey, it's time.
It is time.
Yeah.
Here we go, y'all. We're back at it. And so, after...
Can I, sorry, real quick.
Go on.
So, my partner Mads has been practicing a bunch of baking recipes because she's going to start putting out like a seasonal baking box.
Oh, nice.
And she just finished these things. It's like a thin, like lime and poppy seed and some other stuff cookie sandwich with a little bit of buttercream in between, and it is fucking heavenly. And I'm enjoying it right now. And I just had to share it. It's so good.
I hope you're going to enjoy it enough to share a picture with us.
Yes, I shall.
Good. I'll throw it up on the stream. I'll throw it up there, right there on the map. If it would get here quick enough. Ah!
Rip.
But while Bitte is giving us a delicious view of his cookie, Del, Rosemary, Levi, Bitte, now that you have acquired your Chewinga pals, and as long as you don't leave Wormdoon Crag, they'll be following you along the whole time. Where would you guys like to go first? There's technically three options for you. You can leave. You can enter into Wormjune Crag through the western little tunnel, through the southern tunnel, or to the east up to the Goat Ball arena, where there seems to be a game going on.
Yeah, it sounds like there's something exciting happening at the Goat Ball Arena. Should we check that out? Rosemary like, I've never seen Goat Ball before. I mean, we played, but we just kind of skirmished.
After he taught you the
Yeah. I imagine Bitte and Rosemary have played like some, like kind of how you do like a backyard like touch football. It's like touch goat ball.
Touch goat ball. Found a squirrel instead of a full goat. Wrap that thing up into a ball. Here we go. This will work for just simple stuff. So yeah, all right. That's a vote for goat ball. Levi also likes that idea. Dell, are you gonna go check out some goat ball as well?
Yeah, I mean that seems cool. I don't know, Bite, what do you suggest? I imagine you might want to go catch up with your family, right?
Yeah.
They will be at the goat ball, most likely.
All right, then let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. So you will make your way down. Make your way down to the arena. As you start to walk up the steps, the two Goliath warriors that are acting as bodyguards or gatemen kind of stop you all at that moment, and you get a glimpse of the last part of the match between two different teams. So on the Goat Ball court, 15 crude pillars stand on a raised arena. The bleachers are carved into the back wall and are sheathed in ice, and at the top of the seating section are burnt torch stubs in sconces in a narrow tunnel. As this game is going on, been going on for so long that they haven't even replaced their torches. That's how intense they watch this game of Goat Ball. And so there are currently, you get the very tail end of the match. We're just going to call it red and blue. The red team of the Goat Ball Goliath Warriors proves victorious, and the blue team members slowly make their way off the court and kind of hanging their head low, make their way in.
Game, fellas, you did your best out there, and that's what matters.
Beta leans into the group and goes, "Well, they will be sacrificed later."
Oh.
Levi kind of just like whips his head around, and he's just like, "What? No, I can't allow this to stand. They put up a good fight. They
Chill out, dude. I'm joking.
Oh, okay. Well, are you sure? I just want to make sure I can go and give them a piece of my mind.
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay, good.
I feel like it would be really inefficient to just keep killing off teams.
Just because they lose once.
Yeah, like anytime you lose, you die. I feel like that is counterproductive to keeping the sport alive.
Really hard to build a franchise.
Yeah.
Dell is really nonchalant in his reaction. He kind of tries to play it off as like I knew that was a joke the whole time, which is why I didn't react. But really it was when Bite said that, he just bought it completely. It made sense to him. He was like, yeah, these seem like the kind of savage people to do that sort of thing.
Rosemary's gonna be like, oh, you never mentioned that part.
So, what should we call it? The team captain of the red team they start making their way after the crowd is cheering. They're living it up. Hands are being thrown up into the air to kind of pump them up even further. One of the Goliaths kind of does backflips from pillar to pillar, just kind of showing off. And they finally come down and they see the party. This group of 3 non-Goliaths, along with, well, along with Bitte. And Bitte, guess who it is? It's your rival. Do you have a name for your rival?
Gary.
Gary.
Gary!
Gary. Gary, and we'll give him a full name, Bearheart Thun Kalaga.
Just like Pokemon Gold version.
Yeah, Gary just kind of stands at the top of the steps and looks down. He's just like, hey guys, look. Look who's come back. It's Bitte. Hello there, Bitte. How are you doing, Bitte?
Nice Beavis and Butthead
Hello,
impression.
Gary.
Chuck it out.
Also, sorry, I don't.
Did his team win or lose?
His team won.
They won.
I
Also,
see.
sorry. Side note: did we just call Gary the bad guy in Pokemon Gold, where Silver is the bad guy, or the rival?
His name
Sorry.
is Silver?
Silver is in Pokemon Gold and Silver, and then Gary is in Pokemon like Red and Blue.
I think you mean Blue is in Pokemon Red and Blue.
That's fair.
I don't know. I think so.
I don't remember Silver. I played that game a lot. I could be entirely wrong. Maybe I never got his name right this whole time.
Well, the thing is, it's
I
like
think
the
you
game will
name
give
it,
you
so-
the default option, but you can always name them yourself. So you could have just named your guy Gary.
Yeah, that's fair.
Boom.
I've always hated Gary.
All right.
I just had to set the record straight because the nerds are gonna get us on the internet.
and next session.
I
we
feel
start
like
off
I've been
with-
living a lie.
Sorry guys, we have to close out our stream because we got some Pokemon trivia wrong.
Pokemon trivia. Death by Pokemon trivia.
And they just
What a
won't
way
stop
to get
annoying us.
canceled.
Yeah. So Gary stands at the top of the steps and is just kind of like pestering Bitte a little bit. He did win the match.
Have you told
Yeah, I thought-
Rosemary about Gary? Of like, oh, this guy.
Yes, they are.
He's mentioned him in passing, but only as like, yeah, there was so and so, and this guy Gary who sucked. And then-
Yeah.
But like that's it. He's never told an explicit story about Gary, but Gary has been thrown in as this guy's. Oh, and this guy was there and he sucked several times.
I feel like Rosemary's gonna like pick up on the vibe and she's just gonna like go for the kill him with kindness route and she's gonna like come up and like reach like grabbing his hand to shake it, being like, "Oh, you must be Gary! I've heard so much about you. Good job in the goat ball game."
Bitte, little Bitte been telling stories of me. Oh, I'm sure you've heard of all the times that I whooped up on Bitte in the goat ball arena. He might be the best scout we have here, but
Oh, he certainly is.
he doesn't have it where it counts. We're all good scouts. Just being a little bit better than us at something we all do good isn't really something to shout home about, now is it?
I don't know.
I see, so we all have
being
our,
the
like-
best at something where everyone is like,
Experience shouting
good.
for the home.
Yeah. Well, it's a shame y'all didn't have you didn't arrive a bit sooner. I would have loved for Bitte to get another shot of me winning. Unless, and he kind of just stretches his back a little bit, and he looks to his teammates, and he's like, what do y'all say? I think the crowd could use for an encore of our performance. We got 4, you got 4.
Only one of them knows the rules.
What was that? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Only one of the most...
Only one of them knows the rules, Gary.
We also did just get done fighting off a abominable yeti. Yeah, Bitte scared him off himself.
Oh, I did not think about that. Maybe I should take it easy.
Yeah, you're right, Bitte. I forgot. You had a Yeti encounter, and you really just need to lick your wounds right now, don't you? Oh, would you want me to wait a little bit? Maybe I can give you 3 weeks so you can prepare to be better. You know, or at least give me some kind of competition, right? I wouldn't want it to just wipe your floor. Wouldn't give the crowd a good show, now would it?
Well, you're welcome to lick my wounds for me.
Yeah, but that would be making yourself useful.
Yeah. Well, what say you? Come on. You got a little bit of damage. Oh, boo-hoo. You gonna get hurt a bit more? I didn't know orcs were so weak. Goodness. You know, maybe it's, well, maybe you won't really survive your encounter with our chieftain if this is the way you act, Miss Rosemary. Sorry, I assume you all have made some introductions.
So over the table, how well does Beta think the team would be able to go to ball at this juncture?
You're very confident that Levi can do well. Del Nadre would be able to assist, but in a different way, I'm sure. Rosemary.
I was going to say, choose your words carefully here, sir.
Rosemary would probably be the weakest, just because she's in such a weakened state.
I only have 1 hit point, so if I get hit with the goat ball, I think I die.
Well, I mean, you're not.
You not die, but
you've had like a short rest on your way through from like the outskirts to Woomdoom Crag. So if you have, you can take, some healing there. Yeah. Levi's half health. I'm sure he'll just wait for the night. But yeah, Bite, while you may not think you're gonna win, you do know that anytime you haven't followed up Gary on any of his challenges, it usually ends up being just as much, if not more, pestering than if you had just lost. If you lose, he's just like, I thought so, and then just disappear. He leaves you alone. But if you don't challenge him or you shrink away, that's even worse.
Okay.
Bite, what are the rules of this game?
Beta.
Yeah, give us a crash course.
Beta briefly explains the rules of the game.
The rules of Goat Ball are as follows. Goat Ball is a team sport similar to dodgeball. It uses a furry, misshapen ball made of stuffed goat hide, stuffed with the innards and bones and on virtually all parts of the goat, and also requires a dozen or more elevated platforms, usually pillars or tree stumps. In this situation, they are pillars, arranged in a random pattern. 2 teams of 4 players clamber onto the platforms, pass the ball back and forth, and try to knock their opponent off their platforms. A team wins if all its opponents have been knocked out of the game. So, over the table, non-roleplay wise, the actual rules of Goat Ball are as followed. To determine the outcome of a Goat Ball game, each player in the game must make a strength or a dexterity check of their choice. Add the totals for the team. The team with the highest total wins. In the event of a tie, the game goes into overtime and all the players re-roll.
Oh, that's it? Okay.
Question,
So
can I wild shape?
Can you wild shape?
Please? There's no rule in Goat Ball against wild shaping.
Bite, how do the Goliaths handle the integrity of the game?
I think the Goliath would have kind of a if you don't, Alfie, stop terrorizing the cat. I think the Jesus.
That was a very upset dog.
Yeah.
But he is smiling ear to ear while he does that. He's got the zooms because our cat was out on the porch and made it out into the yard a little ways. I feel like the Goliath approach to Goat Ball would be would be like, hey, if you can't handle someone playing a little dirty, you must not be that good.
Right. Okay. So then my reasoning for that is as long as you follow the general rules of the game, which as they stand is essentially just as long as you throw the goat ball with your arm and just try to hit somebody with it. It doesn't matter how you throw it.
Cool. Awesome.
Or like it doesn't matter what shape you are. So
Beta starts. Beta explains it and then looks over at Gary and then back in and goes, we can take
Like, oh yeah, I can do that. Sounds fun.
excellent. And Beta starts stripping down.
be what, naked?
Not naked, but Beta's still in like full gear, so he takes off the hood, takes off the scarf, the face covering, the outer coat. So he's down to like his scale mail, and then he like takes that and he undoes the chest of it and kind of like folds it down at the hips, you know?
Okay.
That sort of deal.
Mary takes her hat off. A bat flies out of it directly into Gary's face, and then she like tucks the hat alongside Bitte's gear and like slots the chwinga into it, and like you're like, I'll be back. I just don't want you to get hurt.
All right.
Yeah. Beta ties his hair into a bun.
All right. So.
Dell hates it, but he's gonna strip down to his waist. So.
All right.
You know what? Power
and then
moves,
I'm gonna
Rosemary.
and then I'm gonna dip into my disguise kit and draw some war paint. Do the football eye black.
Okay.
I'm gonna give myself a matching triangle to the chewinga.
Nice.
All right. So place yourselves on a little pillar. Okay. You have what is essentially 8 pillars. Gary, being the winning team, took the side that has one less pillar.
Rosemary, as soon as she climbs up the pillar, is gonna wild shape into that essentially albino ape again.
Goodness gracious.
The very Yeti-looking ape.
Okay. All right.
Which, do I still have vision on that? Can I like?
If you just put Rosemary off to the side, you should be good.
Oh. Yeah, I'm just gonna Rosemary.
Here,
Rosemary's on
There's your
break.
vision.
She's over there.
How's that? Better. All right. So,
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna add just a little bit more rules to the goat ball. You're still gonna make a check. If you succeed your check, so you roll a strength, they roll a dex, right? So it's not gonna be you succeed your check. If you beat their check with your strength over their dex, they get hit and they are eliminated. Each turn you can move, you can pass the ball, and then you can throw. Those are your only options. You only have one ball per team. So there's
Now, when you say those are our only options,
those are your only options to win the game. Let's go with that. Anything else that
when you say those are our only options to win the game,
like clambering off of a pillar doesn't put somebody out of the game, but you can't throw the ball until you're on a pillar. Let's go with that. If that helps.
All right, we'll talk. We'll talk.
Okay, so
we're gonna go
again,
through it right now. It's gonna be a very off the fly kind of fun little aspect of it. But basically, it's gonna be a contested roll from your strength check to their arcana check or athletics check. So you're throwing, they are trying to dodge. If they beat, then your ball then it misses. It kind of goes off, and then somebody picks it up. Right.
So is it just like we make a strength saving throw, or is it we make a athletics check?
Athletics
I think it's strength or dex check of your choice.
Yeah, you can make athletics or acrobatics, or you can do strength or check or dex.
Okay.
But
Cool.
ultimately, it's not a saving throw; it's just a check. All right.
Okay, so you can make a strength or dex check or athletics.
So to throw the ball, you can make a strength or athletics check. So just strength, or you can do athletics. Which, I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't do
Athletics is strength, but acrobatics would be dex.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out if acrobatics
So
was
are we
coming
doing
into this.
either athletics or acrobatics, or are we doing either strength or athletics?
You're doing either strength or athletics to throw, and then you're doing acrobatics or dex to miss, to get them to miss. Okay, it is a opposed check. The throwing party throws using athletics or strength. The dodging party dodges using acrobatics or dexterity.
Can I still use strength to not dodge, but just like catch it?
We're really invested in winning this goat ball tournament now.
Yeah.
I really want to shove it in Gary's dumb, stupid face.
Yes, but, and I'll write this down so you remember it. If you decide to catch it, you must beat by 2. So,
And then while we're at that, how does the DC work? So strength. So athletics to throw, acrobatics to dodge. Who has to beat what? Who has to meet what?
There's no beating or meeting. I mean, you are just beating the
It's
person
just
who throws against you.
Right, but I'm saying so 12 athletics to throw at me, and I roll a 12 acrobatics to dodge. Do I dodge or do I get hit?
You dodge. So you
okay.
Yeah. So yes. Okay.
So they're setting the DC that I have to make.
Yeah. So they need
Got it.
Cool.
Right. Any other minor questions, or we can always get through it in the.
Yes.
As we're walking, everyone is getting set up, and there's a little bit of chaos and confusion, and everyone's moving around a lot. I would like to hide the motions to cast a minor illusion and make this pillar right here look a bit wider on this backside than it actually is.
Okay.
Ooh.
Roll me stealth to see how well you do it, and I'll give you advantage because the crowd. Gary is actively pumping up the crowd. They are, as you guys are getting.
I'm happy to roll stealth. Do you want this to be sleight of hand specifically, or?
Yeah, let's do sleight of hand, I guess.
Okay.
Do you want sleight of hand?
I mean, no. My stealth is technically better. It just felt like a thing that should be a sleight of hand.
Yeah. I'll take it. Sleight of hand.
Okay. That's not too bad.
All right, that's good. Nobody notices it that you kind of increase the backside of that pillar by about 6 inches or so. Enough to throw off somebody's foot. Okay, let me make sure I make a note of this over here with a nice little blue circle on that. Okay, all right, we are ready to go. Let's flip a coin. See who's going to get the ball, get it rolling first. So, who on your team is going to... Actually, let's roll initiative. That's a better way.
That is a good way.
Sorry, I just deleted everything. So you're going to have to... Let me add your turn there. Rosemary. Animal. 16. 16. Okay. Add turn. Okay, so we need names here. Pollock. Be the first person's name. And the other is gonna be Grathy. Oh god. Roll 20. How dare you? How dare you do this to me? Click, click. Open up. Open up. Okay. Let me reload my roll 20 real quick. So that it stops lagging, hopefully. And we're gonna have Pollock, we're gonna have Grathy, we have Gary, and then we are going to have the last person is gonna be Kazagan. Well, let's do a female. Lacko. So Lacko, good, and Grathy, good. Let's get this going. Add turn for them. Add turn for them. And add turn for that. Okay, so I see Del Nadre Bite, animal. I am missing Levi. That's on me. Bum, 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 ba-dum.
I'm seeing zeros for all the orcs
Yeah, I'm gonna
currently.
The orcs.
Or sorry, the
The
Goliaths.
Wow, so racist. And here we go. Goliath warrior coming right up. So for our initiative checks for them, we're going to have a 14, 20, 10, and 16. So 14, 20, 10, 16. Your dex is probably going to beat him. But let's just go descending. Oh. Pite, you have a better dex. You will go first.
All right. So to start off, Beta will bonus action cast Zephyr Strike on himself to make his movements like the wind.
Okay.
So Beta's throwing first.
Yes. One second. I'll be right back.
Hello. I'm not here.
Hello.
You
Okay.
muted yourself.
Yeah, he's not. Well, he's not speaking, but
Okay.
Or Corey muted himself.
My bad. Okay, I am back. So yes. Okay, so you're gonna cast Zephyr Strike.
Yes.
Okay. Why?
And then
Huh?
Why?
and then you said you wanted to throw?
Yeah.
this is
Is that?
cool. Why you gotta yuck
he
his
cast
yum?
Zephyr Strike because it says it makes his movements like the wind. I'm like that. That seems helpful.
Mm-hmm.
It has no actual mechanical benefit in this context.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. So we'll say to start out. So Bitte, you started with one ball, and I don't know. Lacko has their Grathy has their team's ball because they're the first two people to go. So yeah, I will say you can only you have to draw a straight line without oversecting anybody else to be able to throw the ball at an enemy. That includes your allies. So just be aware of how you can shift around from your pillars.
Okay. Yeah, I guess Beta is going to throw at Pollock.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Pollock is going to roll. Bow, 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 bow. His acrobatics, which is just dex because he doesn't have acrobatics. So he gets a 13. I will roll.
That'll beat.
All right. So he succeeds in dodging your ball, and he kind of like as he dodges it around, he even it just kind of like tumbles down, and he. Okay, we're gonna take a pause here. It doesn't make too much sense for the ball to just kind of fly off into nowhere, does it?
Yeah, I was curious. Like, so what happens when like our side doesn't have any balls?
There's probably like a shagger or
Okay.
something.
So basically, like, so just some ball kids that just go run around and just toss the ball up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Fair enough. All right. So that is what happens then. So when a ball misses the person, it then gets deposited to the closest person that would have been like on a path. So kind of just say Bitte throws it at Pollock, the ball grabber picks it up, and because Grothy already has a ball, he's going to throw it back to Pollock. Okay?
Okay.
So that means that right now they have 2 balls. So when it comes to our turn, we're not going to have any balls to throw back at them until they throw back, which they will every turn. So Grothy, he is going to shift forward. He's going to move up to this pillar right here, and he is going to chunk the ball straight down at the animal. He's going to throw it at that beast of an animal over there.
So you said to catch it, it must have beat by 2?
Yes, you can roll
And
strength.
and can I roll athletics for that?
Yes. But if you don't, if you fail to catch it, you will just you'll be out. Are you kidding me? It's okay.
There's a reason why I wanted to wild shape.
Which is the same as if you were doing acrobatics, right?
Acrobatics is dex.
So
I know. I'm saying if you lost, you failed your acrobatics to meet with your acrobatics, you would be out as well. Yeah. Okay.
I guess that's true. So then it really only gets. Okay, that's okay. Yeah. Yes. All right. He's gonna roll his strength, and he's gonna roll a 12.
So I catch that. He throws it at me, and I just like catch it with one hand, and then I grin real big at him.
Okay. So,
like catch it in front of the face, and then it just lowers, and it's just the gorilla face grinning.
Yeah.
So another over the table moment here. Do you believe the Goliaths have the same kind of mentality with Goat Ball of like catching counts as out, or does catching just give you the ball, whereas missing it distributes the ball to somebody else?
I don't know. Overall, I feel like catching is the harder task.
Right, but is that
So is it like a high risk, high reward where like you take a penalty to the hit, but if you catch it, the other person's out?
I mean, yeah, you do take a penalty to try and stop it that way, so that would make sense.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Garothy is out. Del Nadre. So let's.
Oh no, I have no ball.
Yeah. So Pollock has one of the balls right now, and Garothy threw his ball
At me.
at you.
So I have a ball, but it's not my turn.
So Gary has no ball. Pollock just has the ball.
No, Gary. Sorry, Gary does no.
Gary has no ball.
Gary has no ball. Pollock has a ball. Garothy had a ball and threw it to Animal.
Okay. Once again, I'm going to attempt to, from the back here, just kind of stand here like, well, not much I can do, as I throw up my hands in a frustrated gesture and kind of whisper to myself. And I'm going to cast a mage hand right behind Pollock.
Okay.
Wait, hold on.
Pollock.
You know, as we're doing this, I forgot these are 10 feet squares. Okay, so that's within, minor illusion is 30 feet, so I'm good with that, and he's definitely within 30 feet. Yeah, so mage hand is just going to be appeared behind Pollock, and finicky here because I feel like there's not a hold your action rule for bonus actions, but in this weird thing, can I attempt? What I want to do is I want to hold my action to attempt to just kind of throw off his aim when he throws the ball.
Yep.
You know, with my mage hand, hit the top of the ball, joggle his, maybe not hit him so much because I feel like that'd be more obvious, but as he goes to throw the ball, just kind of top it.
Yeah. Okay.
And make some kind of check to maybe give him disadvantage or something like that, just making it hard for him.
Okay, so two things, two options for you. You can impose just a -2, or you can roll a check that would then cause him to roll with disadvantage on his next attack. It would be like something like Arcana check or something that would represent like your power of the hand, or your hand could just be there and just by throwing through it, it's gonna just take it off a little bit. I'm leaning more to the fact of like not having to roll another check and just giving it like a base, just like
whatever. Yeah, I'll give him a -2 then with.
Yeah. So Pollock has a
with
-2 on his next attack. All right. Levi's turn. Levi's gonna hop, and since he can't do anything else, I'm gonna say he's gonna, just like a regular attack, gonna dash and hop again, get to that front line, be a protector, and try to get himself right in the face of Pollock. Gary is gonna take a step back, and just like before, he's gonna take a step back over here. Oh no, it's minor illusioned. He's going to lose his step. He's going to roll. He's going to roll acrobatics to see if he can stand up. Or is he going to fall and make a fool of himself? He's going to fall and make a fool of himself.
Does that mean he's out?
No, he just falls onto the ground. You can still get back onto the pillars.
Can you do one of the things when someone's trying to jump across a pool and then they catch the crotch on the corner?
Yes.
Just hit himself on the nuts.
Yes, he can. Gary misses. His front foot was out there. It lands on the illusion space. He just rams that pillar straight into his crotch, tumbles forward, and he's on the ground. Now, you can still target.
I'm dropping the illusion as that's happening.
You can still target somebody who's on the ground, and they don't get to make a check of acrobatics. So that's like the issue is like when you're on the ground, you don't really get to dodge. You're still too focused with getting back up onto the pillar. Okay. Animal, your turn.
So could I aim at Gary from where I am right now? If you said I can still try to hit someone who's on the ground.
My issue though is just because you're straight. We're still looking at that straight line, and you go right through. Oh.
Yeah, I do kind of. Well, if I move like.
Move up there.
Could I
now
move
draw
and?
Line. Okay, that's enough of that pillar out of the way. I'll give it to you here. Throw that ball.
Okay.
Throw that ball.
I'm throwing.
Throw it. Down goes Gary. Good.
I give another big old chimp grin.
All right, Lacko and Pollock have the 2 balls right now. Okay, so Pollock is going to, now that he is a clear shot to you, he's going to just throw a. He's going to throw it right
Pollock.
at you. Sorry, Pollock is over here. He is going to throw the ball at the animal, which he's not happy with because you've gotten 2 people out. No. Yeah. Yes. Gonna try to get that
MVP gorilla.
Gonna try to get that out of there, out of the way here. God.
-2.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna one-shot this entire goddamn team. Bitte taught me well.
Okay, Lacko is gonna dive over here onto this one. Just get a little bit closer. Gonna do the same thing. Gonna chuck it at the animal, the beast. Oh, you fucking.
Have they learned nothing?
So I'm actually gonna dodge this one because I'm already holding a ball.
Good, thank you. Okay. Okay.
Could I use my reaction to toss the ball that I have to Bitte?
No, I'm not gonna let you be any more of a powerhouse than you are.
Okay.
But since Lacko threw the ball over, does a ball boy return that ball to Bite?
Oh yeah, because Bitte is the closest one who doesn't already have a ball.
So it would have been back here. The ball boy was paid off by Gary before the start. He's gonna throw the ball to Del Nadre to keep that away from Bitte. No, Bitte's up next. We're gonna give you the ball, Bitte. Take it and run with it, buddy. Take it and run with it. It is your turn.
Home. Bring it home.
Bring it home.
Beta will, in a flourishy thing, will kind of jump to get some momentum, land on this pillar pillar using turning the forward momentum into upward momentum somehow. I don't know physics. Jumps into the air and does like a big like spinning around motherfucker, trying to come up real high and then spike this ball down onto the other guy.
Using the power of the wind.
Power of
Zephyr
sports
strike
movie.
that fucker.
Actually,
Get 'em.
yeah, Zephyr Strike.
Okay, Laka was going to try to.
He takes 10 damage. He takes 7 damage.
Gonna try to catch the ball. Oh no!
She catches it and then gets thrown like 10 feet off.
Just
It
takes
hits
Right
the
in the
next-
chest.
takes it to the face because of the upward angle. Just takes it to like the upper chest, neck, face area, and just like cocks back. Just gets carried along with the ball.
It's
Like
like
a
watching
knock
football
piece out.
clips and just seeing someone trucked on a kick return.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Oh goodness. Well,
We swept them.
you swapped them. Yeah, you guys very handily defeat the enemy team. The crowd goes wild. They are loving it. These newcomers coming in and showing off such expertise when it comes to goat ball. Afterwards, a couple of the Goliath like kind of come out there and like congratulate you, Dalnadra. They're like, yeah, good job, man. You're so good. We saw those illusions. Like, well played, throwing Gary off his game.
All right, I like these guys.
And with the end of that, although a couple of Goliaths kind of stay around and introduce themselves to you, you meet a number of them. The rest of them start to filter their way back into Wormjune Crag as the evening is starting to really get into it. The outside weather is becoming a bit more grungy and difficult to be in, and they're done with their goat ball matches for the night. However, they do tell you that this was just the start of a 3-night match, and if you're interested in, there's some qualifiers the next morning. We won't be as intensive with the rest of the goat balls until we get back to like the final, if you choose to participate in the championship. This is kind of like their spring split series or something. They're getting ready for it. So, excellent job now. Good job, guys. Well played. I am.
Beaches
Phil's
like,
trying
I taught
to-
her everything she knows, except turning into a snow ape.
Yeah.
That's
Even
all
that
I
is inspired by Bitte.
heard.
Dale's trying to look cool in front of the couple of Goliaths who, recognized his wit over, everyone else's brawn. I'm sure Rosemary is getting mobbed. But at the same time, he's going to also be very quickly trying to get back into his coat because it's fucking cold.
Yeah.
This was a mistake. I wanted to look cool, and this did not pay off for me.
Yeah. Pizza covers up his glass cutters.
Nice.
I feel like as Gary and his crew are like slinking out in the background, Rosemary like very pointedly is like, "Oh, good game, you guys. I thought you said that was gonna be hard."
You just hear some grumbling, and Gary's just like,
Wow, give them a break, Rosemary. They must have been worn out from their first game, right?
Oh yeah, of course. I'm sure it was just as tiring as getting attacked by an abominable yeti.
Gary kind of just like rushes forward after you guys, just like, you know what? Laco and Pollock are kind of like holding him back a little bit, and Grathy just looks over. He's a bit more level-headed of the group, and just kind of just like, yeah, good game, guys, good game. Well, I hope you all will participate in the championship. I won't have to go so easy on you the next time.
You played honorably, and I respect that.
Yeah, shove it. Just
Okay.
shove it as they all start to filter out now, slinking off, head not held tie, tails tucked between
Nose-
their legs.
Yeah.
Pizza stretches his
like the put one arm up and then grab the elbow and the like lean up to the side, stretching out the shoulder, and the son's just like, it is good to be home.
Yeah, one of the Goliaths will kind of make a mention to you as well. It's like, but while you're here, you might as well kind of stop by the chief's fire, and go say hello, and I think she was not really looking for you, but you might be able to give her some insight on our predicament. We have things that kind of flared up with the sky towers, and well, it's not looking good.
That is troubling. I will stop by and see what I can assist with.
Good.
Thank you for letting me know.
Of course. All right. So, where would you guys like to go first? Would you want to make your kind of way around, leaving the back of the bleachers there at the Gopal Arena? Or would you like to go down the main entrance, or would you like to go off across the way, go off over to the west entrance, and just kind of explore?
Bite, is there like a place we can stay, or like an inn or something we should grab rooms at?
Nonsense. I can't imagine all of my siblings are home. We can all stay at my house.
Speaking of, should we go say hello, or should we see the chief first?
What time of day is it? It's kind of like late afternoon.
By the time this Gopal game is finished, it's about it's evening. Probably dinner time is where they're all heading off to.
Okay. It's just like, we'll stop in after dinner when the alcohol starts flowing at the chiefs. Let's head home. I want to see my mothers.
Okay. Okay. All right. So the quickest way to get to your home, and I'm using air quotes here, because you don't have a house, right?
No, not his parents' house.
They don't have a house.
They don't have a house? I assume they had a house.
So would you, I guess...
A cave, whatever.
Yeah, a cave, yes. Okay, yes.
They have some sort of living quarters where the family lives.
Yes, the family domicile.
Yes. Okay.
This is their own private domicile.
Yes. So
like it's not like a house with 4 walls and a door, but it's like a sleeping area where they live.
Exactly. Okay, so then you would know that leaving at the back of the bleachers would be the quickest route to get to your house. Air quotes.
Then that's the way he leads the party.
All right. Just move on your way there. Go slowly. Takes pauses at the first entrance to kind of like say hello and introduce everybody to you're gonna take the time to introduce everybody to everybody.
No, just anyone who comes over to say hello. He'll say, "Oh yes, it's great to see you. Yes, let's had the Goat Ball match. It was great. These are my friends. Friends there. Yeah, this is Snorri. Snorri is old friend. Yes." He runs the oil shop. It's very, very nice man. Always gave me sweets. Great guy.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. His teeth just like falling like almost like they look as if they're about to fall out of his mouth from the high sweet usage that this gentleman has included in his diet. You guys kind of make your way down the pathway. Back here are the private caves. Each of these caves are home to some of the more, I wouldn't say wealthier, but some of the more privileged families. The first one is home to Aruk Thundercaller Thun Kalaga.
There's a law in there somewhere, but yes.
Thun Kalaga. Thun La Kalaga. Ah, my bad. Yeah. So you kind of make your way around in the first cave. You dip in, and you see a Goliath warrior named Aruk, and he is tending to a wounded Arakoa named Siki Cree. Siki Cree seems kind of very bandaged up and doesn't look to be in too great of health. And Aruk kind of just, oh, hey, hail there, Bitte. How are you doing? Wonderful timing. Perhaps you could lend me a hand in assisting this Arakoa.
We actually know some healing magics. Would that be of assistance?
The Arakoa just kind of like, yes, please, yes. Help me. They just keep bandaging me, and it just doesn't do my feathers too well. I would love some magical healing to just, oh, goodness, get me out of all this wrapping.
I'll come up and put a cure wounds on him. So that's a 1d8 plus, I believe 6 is my spellcasting modifier.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Roll your.
So he gets 7 plus 6.
Good.
Is a lot.
Yeah. Excellent. So she kind of stretches her wing out a little bit, and then like uses her claws or whatever, she talons or whatever, to like slash the bindings that she had around her broken wing, and it stretches her wing out even further. And she's like, oh, Lord Almighty! It's been so long. It's been cramped up here. I landed a couple of days ago, and I mean, Eric, please, I really hope you do not take this in any way that I wasn't grateful for what you did for me. And he's just like, no, I get it. I've heard enough of it. I understand you didn't really like the rapping. I just had nothing else to do. That's fine. Yes, it's fine. No worries. But oh, Lord Almighty, thank you so much. What is your name, Green Half Orc? What should I call you?
I'm Rosemary.
Rosemary. Isn't that a plant?
Yes.
Oh.
There's also a name.
It's also a name.
Kind of like how like sometimes people are named Rose.
You humanoids, skin wearers.
Saying Aarakocra is a humanoid.
You fleshy, you mammals are just baffle me. Your naming structures are just, but I guess they're not as crazy as the Goliath. Yes, they are. Come on, 3 names and one of them is as long as all the rest of them. Goodness. Oh wow.
You said you crash landed here?
Oh yes. The blizzard was just too much. I was just trying to make my way. I was gonna stop by and say hello to those up at the Sky Tower shelter, and I just couldn't make it. Blizzard took me down. I had to crash just a couple miles out of here, and it was frightening. I was hearing this horrible sounds. The monsters out on the spine of the world is just. Without my ability to fly, I don't know what I would have done. I screeched and I screeched and I screeched. Nothing. Nobody would come until finally Eric stepped on my wing, fully breaking it. Goodness. But had he not stepped on my wing, I would not have screamed bloody murder, and he wouldn't have found me underneath the snow, and I would not be here. I would have been dead. So I'm very grateful, Eric, for everything you did. And he's just like, yeah. Of course. No worries. I would love my home back whenever you get the chance, but no rush. Okay, good. Well, I wasn't planning on leaving for a couple of days, so I'll be here. Are you all going to the Sky Tower shelter anytime soon? I'd love to catch a ride and walk with you.
That possibly, it remains to be seen. We do have a number of things to tackle, but we will let you know when we are leaving. If we are headed up that way.
I should say that, Bitte, your path, the path that you normally take to the Yeti, just even though you are a Thun Thun Lacalaga, and you're a Goliath of the Wormdoom Crag, you often made the trek on your own, to the point where you made enough concessions that the Sky Tower Shelter Goliaths didn't really play you too mind whenever you passed by close through their village on your trek to the Yeti villages, even further and deeper into the spine of the world. So, that said, you know that if your plan is to go to the Yeti villages, there's a very good chance you will go by Sky Tower. However, if there's anything more to this issue that one Goliath had brought up about, the feud between the two clans being at a very high tension point, you might have to go in a very opposite direction, kind of like a really roundabout where you're kind of going down and then going back up, and that would cause you to miss Sky Tower. So yeah.
Also, just over the table, I have like a minor bit of PTSD of an NPC wanting to travel with us, from you in particular as a DM.
It probably doesn't help that Sicky Cree is saying yes a lot, huh?
Yeah, I'm getting war flashbacks.
So just remember that if in the situation comes where you must put Rosemary's life ahead of the NPC's life to like save them from falling off the side of a cliff, likely won't happen to an Aarakocra, but still, just don't do it then. Let the NPC die and go on with the consequences, huh?
Rosemary is not nearly as self-sacrificing as Shade is, but still.
Yeah. All right. Well, Eric, thanks you all, and kind of just feel free to stop on by if you while you're here. I'll be around, of course, and I'll probably catch some of the goat balls matches the next couple of days. So you're welcome to sit with us if you wish.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, guys! You guys won the favor of the Aarakocra and did a good little deed. So continuing, moving on down. Bitty, I'll bring you with them, but I'll leave Levi. I'll bring Levi as well. I'm going to continue to move on down a little bit more. These tunnels are really cramped and tight together. Given the size of the Goliath, it's very tall, but they even Bitte at points you kind of have to shift your body a little bit, as you're moving through. But the smaller the openings, the less cold air that could draft through, especially as it turns around. It's going to keep the drafts away and increase the temperature inside. So coming up here, this is where on the left, that's Gary's house right there, Rosemary. Kind of turn a little bit more, and you're going to be there in Gary's room with Gary's family. Gary's family is not pictured. They are there.
As we're walking along, Dell is, for all intents and purposes, appearances, just entertaining the Chewinga. Like I pull out a copper piece and I'm walking that across the backs of my knuckles and doing little like sleight of hand tricks for him, while at the same time I'm in absolute information gathering mode. Like I'm just trying to listen to as many conversations for anything that might be useful, interesting information or rumors I can overhear.
Okay. Rolling perception. Because you can hear some conversation going on down from, you guys just kind of got a little bit of vision of the main thing. Unfortunately, a lot of the information you're picking up has to do a lot with like the day-to-day lives of a lot of these Goliaths. And on top of that, a lot of information about stats and stuff like that for players in the Go Ball Championship, like which teams are going to be the best, who people are rooting for. You do pick up on... Are there
any like common threads? Like everyone seems to think there's a certain team that is generally favored. So now I'm picking up like stats.
Yeah. So there are 3 teams that they believe will be a good chance of winning. The first thing you hear is the newcomers. That's you guys. Have a really good chance. Bitte was always a good player at Goat Ball. His father, right? Your father has that legendary story about him about dying on a Goat Ball arena. Yep.
Yes.
And the Rosemary being able to shapeshift into an ape really is pretty killer for the team there. And so they're pretty excited about you guys. In fact, you've already heard some bets being placed. Not with gold, but with like hunks of meat or like a really nice pillow made of bear fur or something. More trades or other stuff that they're willing to put up to bet. Gary's team they were last year's champion team, though they have lost a couple of their key players. They say their newcomers just are not picking up the slack, but Gary is still as strong as ever. And despite his bad showing in that last game, he had just finished whomping on 2 different teams today, and so is still undefeated in that aspect. So didn't have a very good showing against you guys, but is still a favorite. And then there is a third team. They are we are going to call them the Rune Carvers. And they are the crowd favorite for this year. They thought that would be the big challengers for Gary, and are pretty much going to be the top 3 teams. Now there's going to be a total of 8 teams in total, or it'll be a total of 8 teams in the bracket in the championship that will play a number of games over the next couple of days. Should you guys choose to participate, one of the weaker teams would kind of just be more than happy enough to give up their spot for you guys just to see you play. That's how you've already made fans after how soundly you whooped up on Gary.
We have the time. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And most of the games just happen in the evening. So if you decide to stay around, you definitely could deal with it. And although Levi is very pressed on time, you guys made a pretty good time on your way up here. To the fact that you could probably have some time to relax and take it easy and just say hello to the Goliaths and participate them and make an impact on their culture. So, all right. Did y'all want to say anything to Gary? As you kind of peek in, his family is sitting around their small little table there, and they're kind of just Gary's dad is describing all the ways he messed up, and just you idiot, how could you not see that clear? You know the size of the pillars. You just played 3 games with them, and yet what? Your feet slip up. Ugh, it's that Bitte kid. Him and his crowd. They've always been so rowdy. Never. Too many kids, I said, I don't know. And the mother's like, oh, no, they're nice people. He's a nice kid. Bitte is Gary's best friend, isn't he? And then the Gary and the dad both shout, no! So, Bitte, how long ago did your father die?
Let's see. Beta is 30. It was just before the twins are born. How old? I'm trying to think how old his youngest siblings would be in this case. I guess
Maybe 12.
Yeah, probably 12. So probably been dead. Probably been dead going up on. I guess if the championship is about to come up, that probably means it's almost on the anniversary.
Oh, okay. So just 1 year?
So no. So
oh, gotcha.
It was probably 11 years ago.
Okay.
Going on almost 12.
Yeah. So your father and Gary's father, that was where your rivalry began. So 11 years ago, it was Gary's father that killed your father. And there's no ill will about it. It is what it is, right? I mean, does
Yeah,
Bitte have ill will?
if anything, there's ill will from Gary's father. How dare he get such an epic death and beat me at the same time?
Exactly. I was gonna say. I'm about to follow it up. Was like Gary's father became a lot more overshadowed because even though their team won, the fans really rallied behind Bitte's father gave it all. He put his life out in the field, and his jersey is hung in the back of the bleachers or something. It's still well remembered. And Gary's father has pretty much geared Gary to really any chance he can. You have to beat the Bitte's clan,
Mm-hmm.
your family there. So that's his thing. And
But Beta loves Gary's mom.
Oh yeah, because they're really nice. She's one of those really innocent moms that just they're just kids, and let me bake a pie for everybody. Come on over, even though she has an inkling that her kids hate each other, or your kid and her kid and you hate each other, but doesn't really care.
Yeah, Beta will poke in ahead and say, hello, Thora, or whatever her name is. It's great to see you. See,
Bitte.
I'm just heading back to the house. Just wanted to stop and say hi.
Oh, Bitte, come in. Oh, no, you're right. You probably need to go and say hello. I could have swore your mom's just stepped out, but I know some of your siblings are out there, so go on in, say hello. I'm sure your parents will be back later tonight.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So you kind of wind the corner, and there you go. This is Bitte's house. I'm going to move y'all inside here. Dun, 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 dun. So Bitte, a number of your relatives, your siblings are here. Who is here? Let's pick 3 of them that are sitting inside this room right now.
I am going to guess I'm going to guess the twins and the... Sorry, let me double back to my list of names here. I'm going to guess the twins and the second oldest, so Zauklu and Brago and Bregao.
So Bregu, like that? Like Brago?
Brago and Bregao.
Can you type the names for me?
Yeah.
Let me figure this out. I know you sent me the list, but I didn't want to pull it up real quick.
Yeah, this is the whole list from oldest to youngest. I feel like somebody's watching. But it is these ones. So it's the 2 youngest and the second oldest. So it's Beta's older sister and his youngest brother and sister.
Okay. So the youngest brother and sister both rush up. Bitte! Just screaming, hollering. Every piece of furniture that was in between them and you just gets tossed to the side as these large... even a 12-year-old Goliath might be the size of Del Nadre. Just start rushing towards Bitte and just kind of wrap around you and kind of just give you a big hug. Meanwhile, Zaulu. Okay, Zaula. Zaulu or Zaula?
Yeah.
Zaulu. Okay. Zaulu kind of just walks over, pats you on the head, and then at the same time just looks you straight in the eye and just... Bitte. Come on. How could you let your adventuring buddies outshine you? Truly, it's Very disappointing. I didn't really even see much of you in that game. Like,
It is not my fault that they were all stupid enough to throw to a creature with 4 thumbs.
then you should have. She kind of turns
If
to
it-
Rosemary and just. And who are you? What is this? You didn't break
Hi,
any rules,
I'm-
but in my opinion, it left a sour taste in my mouth the way you twisted our precious Go Ball game.
Rosemary had literally just been about to be like, "Oh, everything I learned from Bitte," and then she just like bites it back after that. It's like, I am sorry, I just couldn't stand to risk letting Bitte lose. Not that he would. He's the best that I know. I just was worried that the other team was going to play dirty. So
Well,
I wanted to nip that in the bud, as we say,
how many
where I'm from.
how many Go Ball players do you know? Bitte?
Well,
That's it?
Just the one, yes.
Okay. Well, then your opinion of he's the best one I know doesn't really hold very much weight to it, does it?
Ease off, Zaulo. What has you in such a sour mood?
Who is this? Because who are these people? This is the 10th time, Bitte. The clans are at their necks. We don't need outsiders. Oh my!
Clans are always at their necks.
Go on.
The clans are always at each other's necks.
They're talking
What
about a war, Bitte. This is. They're talking about open war. I'm afraid. I'm sorry. I'm afraid. I shouldn't be afraid. It's just, moms went out there to scout. Okay, they're not out there just doing up, being friendly and stuff. They're out there just testing our borders. This is serious business.
Beatus squints his eyes and really like puts a hand on the top of your chest and like moves his head so he's making direct eye contact, moves it in the path of her eyes, and it's like,
Really? To the point of war?
They
What's all that about a war? Dale, who knows where he got it, but Dale's just back there with a bucket of popcorn.
Zaulu just looks over at you and just kind of like, Bitte, you never told them about the issue between us?
Well, it never. A petty goat ball rivalry never seemed worth mentioning, and we have had long roads, certainly, but we have not been in association for entirely too long. Rosie knows something of it, certainly.
A bit, yeah.
But the idea of it getting to open war, and I know you are not an alarmist person. You would not be saying such things without cause, but I'm sorry, it seems unthinkable.
It's not.
We will have to go speak to the chief more expediently than I thought. I am.
It's these are tense times. You haven't been gone for that long, but the weather up here is getting worse and worse. And yes, we are Goliaths. We are strong. The weather means nothing to us, but this is not just regular weather. This is not regular weather. There's so much more, and I feel like the Sky Tower clan is being pushed to a bit more extreme measures. They're looking to us as a way to push us out, and they're using our feud as just a volatile point. Look, I don't keep up with all that. I do my job. I take care of our family. I do what I need to do around the caves, but all the rest of us, the rest of your siblings, they're gone because of this. So you've always been the most adventurous one, Bitte. I really hope that you'll be able to come to a solution for this.
As do I. We will go. We will handle this. We will see. We've been looking into this in the first place. We will look into this and see that everyone comes home.
Good. You know, if you might be able to catch Ogalai, if you go quickly before dinner starts, might be a good opportunity for you to get the full story before too much drink begins to cloud her mind and she becomes... Well, if she has too much drink, she'd be too worried about all the stories to tell and not worry about the matter at hand. It's too distracted living up our... You know what I mean.
It's okay. Yes, I will get going. Come. Prego. You are taller, handsomer than ever, both of you. We'll come back and we will play some games once I have helped, or once I know more.
Good. All right. So you guys exit the room and make your way back into the hallway. You, for the most part, kind of just skip on through the large open area. So this area going into is the main hall. So where majority of the Goliaths that live here at Wormdoon Crag sleep or spend their day. The cavern has a domed roof about 30 feet high and an open wall in the middle of the floor. Sorry, not wall, well. 2 youthful Goliaths use ropes and a bucket to draw water from the well, while 6 adults wrangle a handful of exuberant Goliath toddlers. Some rough-hewn stairs ascend to the southern part of the cave, where the floor is 10 feet higher. Seated in this area next to a crackling fire is a female Goliath with gray hair, many scarves, and a white cloak made of mountain goat hide. Leaning against the wall within arm's reach, behind her is a great axe with a white bone haft. She gnaws on a pipe as she tries to settle between 2 Goliath children that are kind of just playing right here. And she is right here. Chieftain Ogalai, Orc Splitter, Thun La Kalaga. So as you all approach, you kind of begin to make your way up the stairs. And as you get closer and closer, she stands up. Her attention to these toddlers kind of thrown to the wind as she stands up, grabs her axe, hefts it above her head, and shouts across the cavern, "Oh ho ho! Today, my middle name, Orc Splitter, will be put to good use. Come at me, half-orc!" And she's going to step forward, axe raised up high in both hands, just going to bring this thing down right on top of your head, Rosemary.
Beta will step in the way with the shield.
Before that happens, though, we are going to take a break. Not a break, but we're going to end our session right there.
Oh, shit.
Take a break.
A long break.
Taking a break till next week.
Taking a break till next month. Or
next month,
week.
yeah.
So.
Well, technically, I don't know if I'm going to be here next week, so I guess it's a good time for Rosemary to get split in half.
So that's going to be the end of our session today. I hope you all out there that was listening really enjoyed what you get to hear. We are Everybody's a Mimic. We are a 5th edition actual play webcast playing Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden. More information can be found on our WordPress at everybody'samimic.wordpress.com. Additionally, you can like and we ask you to like, subscribe, follow, give your firstborn, ritually sacrificed, whatever you decide you need to do to show us your love on either YouTube, where you can just search Everybody's a Mimic, on YouTube, or you can find us on Twitch, where we normally stream on a very random schedule, but typically every 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks on Sundays or Saturdays. You can find us on our Twitch at everybody'smimic.twitch.tv. I, as always, am your host and Dungeon Master, Corey Abbott. I do not play a character, obviously. I am being joined by Blake,
Who plays Del Nadre Miracas?
Rachel,
Who plays Rosemary Bone Crusher.
and Carson.
Playing Yeet. Yeet. Playing Yeet Yetimated.
Excellent. And Levi, who's played by Ben, was not able to join us this session. So we look forward to seeing you guys next time around. I hope you all have a wonderful time, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Love you. Bye bye.
Love you. Bye bye.
Bye.